All right, so from behind the booth, welcome back. I know I've been gone for a couple months, but I come back and then we do this whole thing. So I appreciate you guys for coming through, friends, family, and listeners. I got the one and only DJ Lazy Boy who has been so kind to come here, and straight like on a limb, shout out to Jen for hooking that up too.
Shout out to my roommate.
Much love, Jen. Yeah, man. So actually, I don't know if you remember. I met you a couple times already. I met you at Steve at like a spot with Steve Dubb. Like this is a couple months ago.
Oh,
I met you there.
all right. So this is like out by the beach.
Yeah, yeah. So
I remember.
I met you at
Were
that
you with
spot.
the
And
chick?
then, what's up?
Were you with
Yeah,
the chick?
yeah. And then actually, that was my girlfriend. And then I met you at from Beyond the Music Center, or Beyond the Music
in
conference.
Denver?
Yeah,
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 yeah. I don't remember nobody from there.
yeah, man. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. And
That was a trip, dude. So I was dating this girl from Taiwan
mhm.
that I met at Three Style, and because before Three Style, like a habit of me and my homies, and we'd always go. We hit on Tinder and change our location to wherever Three Style was, like 3 months in advance. Just hella swipe right and like start establishing like dates and stuff.
Mhm.
And I met her out there from Tinder, and we hit it off. And she came out to see me. Went out to see her. She went to see me. Went out to see her. And one of the times, right before I left for Denver, she left her work computer at my house, and she's a doctor, and she needed it.
Damn.
And so we were freaking out. She had like this big meeting, like in a day and a half, 2 days, and she was in Taiwan, right? So like we were ready to spend like $2,000 to overnight this laptop to Taiwan.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was like I'm at Denver with my manager, and we're like, bro. And so it worked out to where I was like, why don't I just fly it out to you myself? It's cheaper. It's like $1,000 cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah.
Plus, you're guaranteed to get it by this date, and you're not have to worry about like whether customs is gonna hold on to it or not. So yeah, so that was happened while I was in Denver at the thing. So I just shot straight from there to Taiwan.
That was right after the conference, or
Yeah, like the day after. Yeah, right when the day I flew back, I flew out.
so you went back home.
Yeah, I went home for
Uh,
and packed my bag, and then grabbed her laptop, and then dipped.
oh shoot. And
Same day.
you stay in the Bay?
I did. I
Yeah.
live here in Pasadena now.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, that was like a 10-hour flight, maybe
Yeah,
9-hour flight.
yeah. Yeah, I've done the flight from here to Japan that went to because I went to the Philippines.
Oh, nice.
So I know that flight. Yeah, it's like a 12 hour or something like that.
You
For
fly
sure.
out there?
Uh, I played a couple tracks. I didn't play. Like I actually just went because my best friend's Filipino,
Uh-huh.
so we went to go visit his family.
What part?
We went to Cebu.
Oh, man. I didn't even make it down there. I really wanted to, but it didn't happen. And there
Yeah,
was a nightclub down there that this dude from the Bay owned, and so he was booking a bunch of Bay cats out there.
in the
But
Philippines.
yeah, in Cebu.
Oh, in Cebu.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
remember the name of it, but it was
Oh,
like a small joint, but it like they cracked off. Jay would go play there. Other main DJs would play there.
oh yeah. Atendido, you said? Did you say that or?
Oh, I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know.
but
No.
you know who that is, right? Atendido, Carlos
Yeah, yeah,
Atendido. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because I seen him playing at a couple spots, but that was more like in Manila. He's like,
Oh, I was saying Jay Espinoza.
Oh,
and then
Espinoza? He
some
played there?
other, Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
No, they were like the dude was from the Bay and
Yeah.
just moved to Cebu
Oh,
and owned a nightclub out there and also owned one in the Bay.
I mean, he must have been making some good money because I don't know if you heard about like the money exchange rate out there, but the money exchange is like it's like so for $1 when I went, it was for $1 is 54 of their dollars.
Yeah.
So like but on the flip side, like the amount of money that it would take of like Filipino money to pay like somebody from us, you know what I mean? It would take like twice as or 54 times as much, you know what I mean?
I met a girl out there whose rent was like $40 a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a hotel that my friend was telling because he was talking about going back. and he's saying we could stay at the hotel for a month. He's like, we could stay at the hotel for a month for $200. And I was like, dude, what? I'm not gonna fucking leave for a month. And he's like, yeah, but we would stay there for like 2 weeks, and then you could let the family, because like his family is poor, like they really are super nice people, and there's no disrespect, but these are just facts. And yeah, he's like, you could let my aunt stay there or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, like yeah, for sure, like that'd be no problem,
Yeah, I didn't think
but
about
yeah,
that.
for $200, I mean,
That's
and
smart, yeah.
yeah, so he kind of like we talked about that, but we haven't like I mean, we would go when we go there is like their summer is, I think it's like our winter. So then, or at least that's when I would go. I would go like December, or I would go in January. But like it's usually hot around or like good weather around December. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, if we did go, it wouldn't be till like next year. But it's just.
Oh yeah, no, I went there. I can't remember exactly what the date was. But it was hot as shit.
Yeah, it's humid. It's really
yeah,
humid.
It was humid. Yeah, I was in Manila, and then I was in Angeles City. It's like the hooker capital.
Oh, okay. I never been there actually.
There used to be like a military base over there,
Yeah.
and then like that disappeared, but the business from all that still lives there heavily.
Yeah, I actually I never heard about that. But you've been all over, right? Like you've been to a lot of places, like all over the world.
Oh yeah, I like to travel. I haven't traveled in a long time, but I love to travel.
Do you I mean, just out of curiosity, like, is there anything that you do like to keep track of that? Like, like I've heard of people having like a calendar and they put like pins in everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, I have like all my countries written down on my iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The list is long.
Well, it used to be like that thing I used to put on IG, and then I changed it, switched it up. But I just gotta find a flag, and then go from there. Oh, here we see that. I just put an American flag. And I think it's only like 17 spots.
Awesome. Like, for those of you watching, because this podcast is audible and like we'll put on video.
See.
Can't see it?
Yeah, you're closer than that.
All right. I'll put closer.
All right, there you go.
All right.
My thing's out of focus.
Oh man.
Anyways,
that's
can
awesome,
you know all those?
What's up? I was saying, you didn't quiz me?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Don't put me on blast here. I mean, I see, I see the U.S., I see England.
Start from the left and go to the right, and then see what, if you don't know
world
it,
or the
try
plane?
to figure it out. Just the flags.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
The first one's what?
Yeah, the U.S. Right?
I've been there. Yeah, I like that spot.
Yeah, it's a cool place to be. So U.S., England. I think that one's.
Here, put it here so I can see.
Oh yeah, is that third one France? I think that's France.
I think that I've never been to France, so it's not.
Oh shoot.
I think it's the Netherlands.
Oh, Netherlands.
Amsterdam.
Okay. Oh, okay, Amsterdam. And then it's Germany.
I was 17.
When you went to Amsterdam?
Yeah.
And did you enjoy yourself out there?
I interviewed a hooker for extra credit for school. Yeah.
What was the assignment on that?
There was no assignment. I just made it up.
You told her that? You told her that you had to interview a hooker, or?
I told her I was gonna interview her for school. Yeah. And I never got extra credit for her, but yeah, but that's my.
But that was some extracurricular activity.
I mean, I didn't hump her or anything. But, what's it?
Oh, thanks for clarifying about that.
What's the next one?
I'm gonna say that one is. I think that one's Germany, right?
You're right. Yeah. Germany. Yep.
And then that looks like I think is that one Spain?
Yep.
And then Canada, Mexico, Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I recognize that blue one, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna say like Swiss or something or Dutch.
Japan. Probably Swiss.
Something like that.
No, I think that
it's something like European, right?
Might be Poland.
Okay.
I think it's Poland.
Okay, Poland, and then we have Italy, and then I know. Oh, that's
Oh wait. Where is not Switzerland? What's the other one that everyone is mixing with Switzerland? Sweden.
That's Sweden. Okay, see, I knew I was somewhere around there. That's I'm gonna say that I know this one. This one's like Cuba, or I know that Cuba, Puerto Rico, they have like the same flag.
I don't know. Good question. Bro, I'm so bad at flags.
Yeah, I maybe you might want to actually put the actual name next to them from now on.
Well, I mean, I think it's like fun.
It
Alien, what the hell is that, man? I think that's Poland. Pretty sure that's Poland.
Okay, Poland, and I definitely don't know the next one after that. I never even seen that flag. I don't think.
Oh man, we might have to actually look these up. So, I think that one is. Is that Chile? That's not Chile.
I don't know. I never seen that.
It might be Nepal.
Okay.
I think it's Nepal.
And then, damn.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, the rest. I mean, I reckon. I mean, out of the ending ones, I feel like I recognize the freaking Philippines, and that's about it. Out of the last.
All right, there's Taiwan. That one's probably Poland right there. That one's the Philippines. Oh, one of them is Aruba. And, yeah, I don't know. I can't believe I forgot.
Hey, well, we put it on the screen, so that we're going to have, like, a whole list in the comments. We'll have somebody fill it all out. Like, you guys are uncultured. Here's all what they all are.
All right, and I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you.
The correct answers. But, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. And, like, because you're saying that's, like, are all those because of DJing, or, like, some of them, no.
That's you.
That's my phone, yeah. My computer, actually.
That's your computer.
Yeah.
No, not all.
Yeah, but most of them, like 90%, 80%.
Nah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's just traveling.
Going for fun.
Oh yeah.
Most of the a lot of them are from going to freestyle.
Oh, okay.
Which was like probably the best decision I ever made. I remember watching everyone in where was it? Damn it. And so I forget the country they were in. Azerbaijan. And they're all partying at the hotel, and it looked like so much fun. And it was like Shortcut, which is the homie, and then a bunch of other cats that I'm like communicating with, right? And some of them that I knew. And I was like, man, I can be at a hotel with all these motherfuckers and just partying and getting wasted and listening to great music and jumping in the pool and
living the dream.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go from now on.
You said I'm just gonna what?
Go from now on. And I went to Japan after J won. I remember going to the battle in the U.S. Northwest battle, and Tony Tone was in it, and Jay was in it, and I don't remember anyone else that was in it. I want to say there was a cat from L.A. that was in it, but I went, and Jay won, and I remember going, man, all right, dude, I'm gonna go to Tokyo. I was talking to Jay's dad. I'm like, yeah, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna go to Tokyo. There you go. And then I never been to Tokyo. Tokyo just sounded like so much fun.
For sure.
Yeah, and then I went, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
I happened to go. It was crazy. Like, I was homies with Ease on the internet, and I talked my best friend into going with me. So I bought my homie a plane ticket, and he helped set up the Airbnb. And we get to the airport and in LA for a layover and run into Ease. And so we changed our seats so we're all sitting together. And before my flight down there, I had chugged like I couldn't take them with me, but I had just bought them at Safeway. 2 bottles of like Country Time lemonade or limeade. It wasn't lemonade, it was limeade. I remember feeling so sick on the plane. So me, Ease, and Ryan were sitting there waiting for our plane to take off. And I felt like shit. And I took off my shirt. It was so hot in the plane. And
that's that long flight, right? That's a long
yeah,
flight.
and we were on the tarmac, and the stewardess was like, "You need to put your shirt back on." I'm like, "No, man." I was all grumpy, and like, I'm woken up at like 5 a.m. to catch our first flight. Yeah, and then I just like, oh no, and barfed.
Oh.
Right in the barf bag.
But
So
you know, that's they could just chalk that up to like you being like air sick or something like that. So that's not a problem. Cause I was gonna say like if they know you're drunk or like maybe that might throw you off, but you could just be like, oh, I'm just air sick.
I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Not yet. But nah, they were like.
But then why'd you barf?
Because of limeade. I took 2 bottles of limeade.
But wait, maybe I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's like lemonade, but it's lime.
Oh.
And I mean, it's one thing if you have like half a bottle. That seems like a lot. But chugging 2 on whatever else I had in my stomach or didn't have in my stomach was the wrong idea. And I ended up just ralphing.
I thought when you said limeade, I was thinking of the like. I thought they're like the Bud Light like lime things, you know? Yeah.
Alcohol, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Angelo, he flies a lot, and he's like, bro, they're gonna kick you off the flight. And I'm like, oh fuck! So I just put my shirt on, and just played it cool. And then 10 hours later, we're in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh, and so when we land, I fucking
You knew Angelo before that too?
Yeah. I think I went to one of his shows in the Bay, and then I don't remember, but I knew him before that.
Yeah.
And then, his homie, Color TV, picked him up in the airport. No, sorry. His homie, DJ Sneeze, picked him up in the airport. And then we went to pick up Color TV at the other Japan airport. I forget what it's called. And then Sneeze invited us over for dinner, and we went out and had dinner, and then that's how I met Color TV. And then we actually ended up pretty much living together in San Diego during the pandemic. Yeah, I mean, I paid rent in the Bay, but I just crashed in their pad all the time in San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, and then like with doing that, like, is that kind of like, is that just kind of like because of like the hospitality that they offer? You know, like they're like, hey, like you ever want to like crash here, like just come through or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
it was like that, but we were like really close. Me and Color TV were really close, and me and Ease were close. And then me and Color TV got way closer because Angelo was gone a lot. But how we built our relationship was every year we would just go to events like Freestyle. So every year it'd be our tradition to go book an Airbnb in whatever country it was. So from there we went from Japan, we went to Chile.
Okay.
And then Poland.
That's so tight.
And then
that's tight.
Taiwan.
That's so tight. I love I love it. I love to hear all that. Like, I really do. And I don't know if you got to check out the podcast too much, but like pretty much like the preface of it is like, so pretty much. I mean, I learned from a DJ school.
Which one?
I'm from scratch, and I've been DJing now 11 years. But I love it. I really do love like. I really do love it. I'm always eager to meet other DJs, and like, the thing is like, that I try to do with the podcast is try to put like, the big thing is to try to put on DJs that I feel like are super dope that haven't like, been acknowledged. There's a lot of dope, as like.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, there's a lot of dope DJs out there that haven't been acknowledged. So like, this is like my way of like trying to put them a little bit more on even if it's a little bit more of an elevated platform, like to try, an attempt to do that. And there's a lot of, I think the cool thing is that there's a lot of different like listeners. There's the experienced listener, there's a brand new listener, especially when I was teaching at Scratch for a long time. So I would always tell the students like, hey, by the way, like if you guys want more info, like I run a podcast and you guys should check it out, because everybody's DJ story is different, and then there's like just inspiration from like every single one of them. How
many episodes you got?
I think I'm only at like 40. Yeah.
Only?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I say that because if I had stayed on it, then I would have a lot more.
I listen to podcasts like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, like with this podcast too, is just it was like I love podcasts too, and I like at the time when I was listening, there was only two that I really kind of heard, and there was the Road podcast and then my favorite DJ podcast. Those are the ones that I was listening to. I'm sure that there's other ones, but those are the big ones that I was kind of like trying to tune into.
I don't really listen to DJ ones.
And you know what, like I kind of like I felt the need to make mine just because I feel like the things that I was talking about, I thought that those are good things to kind of like bring into a podcast, but also like one that's like in a positive note, you know, like not on some like hater stuff, you know, like because there's a lot of good things that come about from DJing and like, you know, just it's fun. Like at the end, I know like you know I feel like you represent that. Like you have fun when you play. Like you're always doing some crazy stuff. And then I think in life in general, like you have fun with life, you know.
Yeah, I was telling my girl earlier today. I was like, man, if it's not you're not happy, it's like what's the point?
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, and I think you know you're living testament of that, and I'm experienced that as well. You know, like I said, now that I hit my like 11 years, it's like things are really starting to fall into place, and it just makes all the more sense. Like it's cool because you know you follow this music pathway and you don't really know what's gonna take you, but it's like it's been a fun ride so far.
It's rough down here, dude. Fucking LA prices are fucking weak.
Yeah, yeah, it's expensive.
I cannot. No, I'm talking about DJing what they pay.
Oh
they
yeah,
pay crap out here.
yeah, yeah, for sure they do.
It's disrespectful.
They do. They do. I mean, and you know, like, it's funny too because you mentioned that because I was just listening to a Road podcast a while ago, and they were talking about prices too. Like, just in general, that there was nothing that great. But the thing that they were talking about is that like, how crazy is it that like, you know, DJs were making $100, $200 fucking 20 years ago. Like the good ones were making that like 10, 20 years ago, and yet that's still like a similar rate that's down here. You know, and it
I
hasn't
would debate
changed.
that. I would say that like 20 years ago, DJs were making like 500-800 a night for like doing bars.
Yeah.
Or more.
Yeah. Oh, see, I mean, and that's just like, yeah, I mean, that's just something that I kind of like heard, but, yeah, I mean, for sure.
And 5 was like low.
Yeah, yeah, and
it was crazy.
And well, you know, I mean,
I think you just had to cover like the cost of vinyl and shit, and that was like expensive.
They're like, yeah, you know what? I mean, it's weird. Like, there's a lot of things that probably influence like that whole conversation, right? Because like you're saying, like, I know it's a joke, but like, yeah, vinyl was expensive, but also like, I don't know, supply and demand was different, right? Because like, how many DJs are there today in comparison to then? And then, and but to that is like the ones that were getting paid the good amount of money, like there wasn't as many quality ones, I would probably say. You know, there wasn't as many good ones than there are today, I guess. Like the amount has gone up in both areas, I guess.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you really, but I know that the folks that I knew growing up, like, I come from the Bay, man, and they don't mess around, and they don't mess around in LA either, man. Like, I remember coming down here in the vinyl days. I was in a record pool called the Heavyweights, and I was truly odd. And J-Rock was like his best friend. He was always there smoking a blunt when I roll up and grab my records. And I would drive from the Bay, and I had an apartment up there, and I had an apartment in Santa Barbara, and I would do the triangle and drive to down here and pick up my records and hit up Fat Beats on the way back, because they had like records on the cheap compared to the Bay Area. And yeah, man, we put in work, dude, and it was like a whole other skill level. So I wouldn't say that I would say the quality of DJ was better back then.
Back then.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had to really, really, really be dedicated.
Well, that's how I was, like, I feel like maybe I was kind of like saying two sides, but I was kind of saying that in the sense of like maybe that's why, like, you know, that they were getting the rates that they were, because maybe they weren't a dime a dozen, like, whereas today there's so many, and it's just yeah, probably like the market's saturated. It's oversaturated.
I think that alone drove the price down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, but I think that that's a big contributor. But then it's also like, like I, it's just like the focus and the emphasis on things. I feel like, like the money is still there. Like the clubs are still making a ton of money, but there's not a lot of money being pressed towards a DJ. Like it's going towards whatever, like the promoter. It's going towards, I don't know, the bottle girls, the fucking prize for the costume contest, whatever. Fuck, like it's like, but yeah, how does the DJ get the short end of the stick?
The key is finding that curator, the person who books that really appreciates what you do.
Yeah.
And is willing to respectfully compensate you.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of venues that do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I travel back up to the Bay almost every weekend.
Because they're paying you.
Yeah.
You're making it worth your while.
And they respect what we do.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for that. And I'm not saying there's not that in LA.
Yeah.
I know there is.
Yeah, there is.
You gotta be that good.
Yeah.
And even though I've been doing this 23 years and I have some titles under my belt, like, I have my own insecurities about how my set is in comparison to someone else,
Yeah.
It really all depends on how much energy and time and love and passion they put into digging and finding tracks that are gonna have that impact.
Yeah, and it like,
and knowing when and how to play them.
And I mean, and it's like, like, so I started my own party as of 2 years ago.
And having the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
You can't have your own party if you don't know how to talk to the owner of the bar.
Yeah, so I mean, I started my own, and I mean, I'm on that sentiment. Like I said, I love DJing, so I'm trying to do it right. Like, I'm booking the DJs, and I'm booking DJs like a lot of them are my friends, but they're good. Like that's the staple for me. Like, you got to be good. Like, I love all these DJs that I meet, but like,
who's the blackest of your homies that you booked?
I'm not gonna say that.
Why not? Let's be real.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to hurt no feelings.
Who can use the most?
But you know what? But this is the thing too. But hey, but look at it, in all fairness too. Like, this is the thing, is that, like, when I just started, like, there's some people that helped me out, that, like, whatever, like maybe I'm not even gonna say that. I was like, I was gonna say that, but it's more like,
I call out any of my homies that need to work on some shit.
but it's like different. There's different focuses and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. So I mean, you can knock someone for not doing this, but they can be really good at doing that.
And so I'm just like, I'm gonna just revert back to what I was saying, in the sense that, like, I book my homies, and like, I'm booking the ones that I feel like they're gonna do the party justice. Not just like, just that they're gonna bring fucking 40 people, not the hottest one, the cutest one, whatever. Like, I want some real talent there, and so I'm trying to. I feel like if I do it right, and when things like really start, like the balls really starts to go, like, get rolling, maybe I will be like the new LA standard, like, where like that is how it should be. Like, these are how the booking should be. Where it should be a sick ass lineup, and like, I book like a lot of the people that have their own parties. Like, my big knock to them is that they don't book people that are better than them. They don't book people that are better than them, or they don't book people that are not in their circle. And my thing is like, yo, if you're dope, you're dope. Like, come through, fucking rock my party, make it that much better. Like, I want to be the spot that has the dopest party, not the spot that DJ Wally like owns, and like, yeah, he has some cool people there. Like, it's not about that. It's like, it's higher than me, it really is. And that's, I think, the true essence of like the party is like, it should be, it's higher than you, like, and that's like, those are my favorite parties. Like, and I say all this because to tie it back into what you're talking about, is like the focus of the culture, like the people culture that are there, like, that's almost equally as important. Like, dope DJs, and then dope people, like people that are good, people that are like eager to hear new music, and like not afraid that, like, pretty much, yeah, like they can just go and they're like, hey, like, don't worry about what's gonna be played today. Like, let's just go, cause there's gonna be some. I know that Wally only puts good DJs on, and it's gonna be a dope vibe because the music's gonna be dope, and then the people there are gonna be dope as well. And that's like I feel like the matrimony, and I think that that's the big part that is missing from the spots is that like you could have a dope booker, like person who books the DJs, and then you could have that person book dope DJs. But if the club hasn't been like, kind of like, no, like, let's just say that they only do that. Let's say Friday night they do like it's that booker, and then it's dope DJs, but the rest of the nights are like whatever promoter guys, and then so like that crowd is a regular, like just a whatever crowd, and they're not used to that, like that party being tailored or whatever. Then that could be a big miss on that Friday night, is because throughout the week, like, it's just people that just knows the spot for being the best place to get drunk, as opposed to like the best place for like quality music, quality DJs, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I feel that pitch.
And that's why I think that, I mean, for one, like I said, I feel like that would be cool, like if I could really get my spot kicking off, and maybe it would set the tone, like I think that is the tone that should be set, like.
What's your party?
It's called The Picnic.
I like it already.
Yeah. I started it like 2 years ago. I mean, actually, the origin of it is right here. Like I just throw like a DJ mixer, and I would just invite all my DJ homies, and we were literally like, it was like a potluck, drink, play beer pong.
In the yard or in
yeah, like right here, like in this little area, but I'll kind of clear it out. And then I had open decks, so and I had like a little sign up list, so you could do like a 30-minute set, whatever you wanted to do.
Nice.
And
do you have anything like that anymore?
What's up?
Do you have anything like that? I want to go to open decks somewhere out here.
Open decks? I mean, you could go to Beat Junkies. They always have open decks.
I mean, like a party.
Oh, a party.
You know what I'm saying? I want to like go and I love just showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then fucking blowing people's mind with some shit that I've been working
on.
Well,
I'll tell you. Actually, like, if you're still down here in the summer, then I'll say this.
I'm here, dude. I live here.
Okay, so he's here, y'all. Lazy Boy is in LA, for those who are listening.
Lazy Boy.
What's it called? Oh, so I actually do a beach party, and this is honestly just for my friends, like my immediate friends. Like, I mean, this is a little side note, but like, I really do consider myself a really good friend, and so I like to reward my friends. Like, thank you for being my friend. So my thank you to them is, I'll set up a beach day. So I'll call up all my friends, and like I get like legit like at least like 20 people there, and it's people that I've known for years. So anyways, I call them up, tell them. Yeah, so I'll set it all up. So I usually set it up at Huntington Beach, and so I get there at 10 in the morning.
Permits?
What's up?
You got your permits?
Not for like how I do it.
Oh.
But I get there at 10 in the morning. I get a pit, and then I stay till 10 at night. And then I have the food, so we're cooking food. I bring that little Bose speaker right there. That's battery powered. You know, the one the little that's battery powered.
A lot of highs in those.
And then I just hook up like a little controller, and
no sub.
No sub, fool. Can't power that. I don't have enough juice out there. But anyways, like, and I'll have open decks for the entire beach day, and then whenever anybody wants to get on, like, we'll do that. And like,
I like the cutting ones, the random ones, the ones that are just happening that happen, and then you just roll up.
Like, just like straight like session, you're saying, like cutting, you're saying?
No, I'm talking about like
the party ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I scratching is cool, but I like party rocking.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. So I mean,
especially when they're not ready and they never heard some shit like that you do.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I play a little different. Like, there are a lot of other DJs that are dope as fuck that do similar or better shit, but like, I have my own way of doing things and my own little routines that I do. So yeah, it's always fun when I go out and rock and people are like, "The fuck?"
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, and it's like they just don't know. They don't know like.
They're not ready.
Yeah, I mean, and they're like, that. I mean, that goes without saying. Like, you see a DJ up there and you judge him, like, you judge a book by its cover. But like, I think that's the important thing about with DJing that I feel like what I've learned is that, like, I feel like the first couple minutes when you DJ, like, it's kind of like it's just that trust building thing. It's like I'll play some stuff that you kind of I know you want to hear. I'm gonna do it my way, but I kind of do a couple tracks so that you'll trust me, and then after I like that I could be trusted, then I'll fucking just take it like any way I want to. Um, that's kind of like usually kind of how I'll do it.
I wing it way too much.
Hey,
I wing it so hard. I have no idea what I'm playing. I download a bunch of shit. I have no idea where it's at. I know I put it in my shit. I haven't put it in Serato. But I don't remember what the hell I downloaded. Like, it's a mess. It's horrible. I need to figure that shit out.
I mean, and that's like, it's kind of like depending on where you are, So, like, at the beach thing, like, that's totally cool because, like, hey, this the thing, too, is that these guys are getting a fucking free DJ. Like, I don't want to hear nobody complain. Like, and they know, like, how I am. Like, all my friends know my party. And so at my party, I mean, you see that little sign right there, but there's no requests allowed at my party. It's really just, like, let the DJ do their thing.
I would change that NO to $20.
Nah, not even that.
I would.
Nah, hey, and that's what you would do at your party, right?
Hell yeah! Oh man, I have a screensaver on my phone, and it's from when people shove their phone in my face, and let me clear all these damn notifications. It's
$20 per song, $100. Hey, I talk about that.
Play next, and it's got the QR code
That's
on it.
That's so funny. I talk about that.
There's a disclaimer
because a
too.
do-over, somebody asked me for a request too.
There's a disclaimer.
What's up?
Read the disclaimer.
Oh, okay. Disclaimer. It says, ask yourself or ask yourself, will my song request bring the energy up? Will people sing along? Is it for the ladies? Is a song playing right now? And the fine print is, all requests will be played at or in parentheses, it says, or not, at the DJ's discretion.
You ever have someone request a song and you're fucking playing that shit?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Or you play some Bad Bunny, I'm like, are you listening?
Yeah, like I was gonna say that, but I was like, I feel like everybody's talking about that, but that is the reality. Like, you're currently playing Bad Bunny, and then they're going up to you saying, hey, can you play Bad Bunny? You're like,
clearly you're not a Bad Bunny fan if you don't know his whole catalog.
This is Bad Bunny. Yeah, this is Bad Bunny.
So when I saw it yesterday, and I really want to do it, but the Etsy ad that had the item that I want to get to do it, I was like $100. I'm like, you're tripping. But it's this like fake water pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone hands you their phone with a request, you just dump it in the fake water pitcher.
But everybody has a waterproof phone. They probably wouldn't trip that much.
Oh, they would trip for a moment and until they remember, oh shit, my shit's waterproof. I would be more afraid that someone starts swinging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure, man.
And you ever like dress completely different to throw off the people that are there, and make them think that, who the fuck is this guy? What's he gonna play?
Nah, I haven't done that.
You should try it.
You do that?
I have, and yeah, I do. I've done it more than once.
But like, what is the thing? Like, what is something that? What do you wear? Like a tuxedo? What are you out there in?
Okay, so one time I went to this battle, and no one really knew who I was in the battle. Maybe some of the DJs did.
Yeah.
But I had black Levi's, a belt, some black shoes, and then a black button-up, and then a black cowboy hat. And on top of the cowboy hat, I had a Beat Junkies hat.
What the hell?
A black one, so it looked like my cowboy hat was a Beat Junkies hat.
Yeah.
And I remember walking into that
Beat Junkies hat?
Yeah, Beat Junkies cowboy hat. And I remember, there's photos. I remember walking into that thing, and everyone was like, this is in Alameda, so like, nobody at the bar really knew who I was.
Yeah.
So I remember everyone who was there was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, and then I went on, and the people who knew were like cheering me on, and like, I murdered that shit, took first place.
Yeah, hey, that's dope, man. Yeah, I've actually never even really like thought about that. I'm so like, I mean, with the LA scene, to be real, like, I think of I think of like the appearances for the photos because then I'm gonna use them again or whatever. So I kind of like I dress and I like to be in my own like fashion sense. So I'm, whenever I go out there, like I'm usually kind of dressing kind of like just for the party. It's something that I learned kind of from the school, like kind of like look the part. That's just something that it got instilled in
It's
me.
interesting you say that, I do believe in that. At the same time, I have a horrible fashion sense, so none of my clothes really match anything that I'm doing. I'm the same fucking 90s skater kid. Yeah.
Hey, but I mean, but like, honestly, like, you earn that. Like, I feel like
Only
not
to
that
the
not
peo-
that not that anyone can't do it, but
only to the people that know.
yeah, yeah,
And that's like
yeah,
1%, if that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's interesting because you go out and nobody gives a fuck if you want 3-style or
yeah,
the only people who care are dudes.
yeah, yeah. I would say that.
Dudes that DJ.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And they come out and sit there and watch and maybe cheer here and there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
nobody cares.
yeah. I get. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, and it's like
So
the
you
crowd.
don't necessarily really earn it, but you go out and kill it, then kind of sometimes it doesn't matter what you're wearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I totally understand and respect and get dressing the part, especially in LA, or any like high
Yeah. Like a high end
position or
thing
whatever,
or a
like-
corporate thing.
Well, yeah, that's different. Obviously,
thing.
I'm dressing up for that. But I mean, if a venue's hiring you because you not only kill it, but they have a certain look to their venue and the people that work there, and you're gonna want to match that class.
I don't know if I would like to hear your opinion on this, but we'll see. Maybe this might be a controversial thing, but like, so I did my party in October, and I wanted all the DJs to dress up, like not necessarily like you got to be in a full costume, but like something,
Halloween costume.
Yeah, because it was a costume themed party.
Yeah.
So I pretty much I'll openly say like that there was a DJ that I wanted to have on, but the person didn't want to wear a costume, and
So
they were
telling them no.
They were gonna wear a costume. Well, not necessarily that I told them no, but I didn't book them.
Wait, why? How do you know he's gonna wear a shit or not? You just said, "Oh, I'm not gonna wear nothing."
They said that. Yeah, they said I'm gonna wear a T-shirt that says this is my costume, and I was like, nah.
Wally's an asshole.
Hey. But you know what? Hey, maybe I earned that. Like, this is my party. I get to run it how I want it. I want to run it, and
Hey,
I
you're
want
paying the check, writing the check. Then yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
and that's really how I felt. And
I didn't dress up.
the person's cool, and they had no hard feelings, at least like that they expressed. But like,
Who was it?
My thing is
Who was it?
Shut up. My thing
No, for
is
real.
that.
Hey, we want to know. Do you have any hard feelings?
No, my thing is
Write
that.
in the comments.
No, my thing is that.
And subscribe.
Is like I love going to a party when everybody's dressed up, and like I love it because it's just so fun. And I feel like when people, the big thing is for me, usually the people that are not trying to dress up are the people that think they're too cool, and like that's my reason.
DJing is ego driven.
Don't be too cool. But same thing with
what
that.
What do you think about that?
What, DJing is ego driven?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is for sure. But like it has its pros and cons, because like that drives people a long fucking ways. So like, who am I really to knock that, right?
Yeah.
Because some people, that is what drives them, and like they are the beast, or the the legends that they are because of that. But I think like ego, and then there's another thing between like being a dick about it. Like you could be good.
But was he a dick for not dressing up?
Was that person a dick? No, but like they didn't meet the criteria of the party. which is like everybody's dressing up, and it was
Yeah.
costume mandatory. Like everybody that came in, it was costume mandatory.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
You don't think I'm an asshole for that?
Yes and no. I don't know. I mean, maybe there was a better way to put it to him, you know, or maybe there was a better way you could help him warm him up to like have an outfit. You know, maybe it's like, oh, yo, I got this gold chain. You know, let's throw on some Adidas.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, it's like why is that my
if it's really your homie?
Well,
and you wanted to be there.
No, it wasn't like my homie, but it was a person that like I booked and like they're cool. Like I mean, I don't know them that well.
Whether it's your homie or not,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like if it's someone that you want,
but also
to feel included.
Yeah, but my
who
thing
has a discomfort with dressing up.
But I don't know. They didn't express their reason why. But my thing is
maybe
too,
they
like,
didn't know how.
But also like, yo, like, do I gotta hold everybody's hand?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you, but I mean, we're just having a debate, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure, and like that's kind of like that's my rebuttal is that, you know, like
if you would have done anything differently.
You what's up?
If you would have done anything differently.
If I would have done anything differently, like what do you mean
moment, if you were to replay that moment, is there anything you would have done differently?
Honestly, no, I don't really feel so. Yeah, I stand by what I did.
Do they still book you?
Huh?
Do they still book you?
They never booked me. Like they never had like their own party or to book me. So
yeah. Are they still DJing?
Yeah, they're still DJing. Yeah, I mean, like everything's cool. It just was really like it really was just the fact that like that they didn't want to wear a costume.
What was the best?
And
outfit?
I was trying to have people have costumes. What's up?
What was the best outfit?
Shoot, I don't know. There was a bunch of people that were dressed up. I'm trying to think of like off the top of my head.
You have a contest?
I have a bunch of photos. Nah, I didn't have the contest. Cause like I said, like the party just started. And I'm still trying to figure all that out, and I didn't have a budget really for the contest.
This is a picnic in October.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
how often do you do it? Like once a month?
So yeah, I'm doing it once a month. I just got the new dates for this year. My first one will be, I think my first one, this date hasn't been confirmed yet, but I think the first one for this year will be, and this will be the kickoff, will be April 23rd.
Oh, it's a seasonal thing?
Yeah, so I only do it for like the summer, and then one in October, and then it's done. I like it like that. Like I've been going to a lot of parties out here, you know, and in my experience, like I just go to parties. I love parties because I just love to go like for the music and the people, but like inadvertently I was studying them, you know, like just from being there, especially since I go and I don't get smashed. Like I go and I'll get a buzz or whatever, but I don't get super drunk. Like that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is for me to like listen to new music, see new DJs, meet new DJs, and meet new people, and connect with like, you know, like-minded music lovers.
So you never been to Redbull Freestyle World Finals then?
A world? I don't know if I don't think I ever been to a world final. I've been to
get smashed.
I've been yeah, I've been to multiple.
They give you like
freestyles.
wristbands for like unlimited drinks all night. I don't even drink anymore, but man, we got 1 year in Chile. I woke up in the sink.
You woke up in the sink?
Yeah, in the sink.
I mean,
Bazooka took a photo of me.
Who has it?
Bazooka.
Oh, Bazooka.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
It was wild. It was like.
You were naked in there?
Nah, I was fully clothed.
You said nah.
Yeah, I was fully clothed in the sink.
Well, cause my boy, we threw him naked in the bathtub, like when he got. Or actually, I don't think we stripped him down, but like he was naked in the bathtub when he fucking blacked out.
He's just not trying to admit on camera.
When he blacked out. No, I wasn't there. I remember when I got back to my hotel room. When I got back to my room, he was naked.
Yep.
That's a true story, for real. If you know, you know. I won't even put his name out there, but he knows who he is.
Damn.
And actually, you know what? So I did want to talk a little bit about, just because we haven't got into that at all, but like, you know, a little bit about like your origins, you know, like when you started, like how that kind of came about. I always like to tell that part.
Yeah. I was into breakdancing. Wasn't really any good, but I was into it. Mm-hmm. I was also into graffiti. Mm. And my homie got caught spray painting on a fence and then blamed it on me. And so I had to go to court and got community service. And so for my community service, I was spray painting the inside of the teen center. And the people that were running the teen center were 2 DJs. And every Friday night they would have a DJ party. And they were on vinyl, and there was another front room, and there was another kid that had CDJs. They weren't even CDJs, they were like the pop-out kind, right? And so I'm like, yo, I've been into music forever. I played the violin when I was 5, and I moved to piano when shortly after that. So I love music, and I was into music, and I had like a big ass, one of those 200 KC zip up things, the Case Logic. How old are you?
31.
Probably before your time. Yeah, but it was hell of CDs, full of tons of CDs.
Oh, like you're talking about the album things?
Yeah, and they were just big cases.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like pages of 4.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And you really want to fill up both sides.
Yeah.
And I used to buy CD singles all the time. And so I had a
So you already had that built up before, like, the party thing you're saying?
Oh, yeah. Just because I loved listening to whatever I had on my Discman.
Yeah.
You know?
And then how old are you, like, at this time? Like, around? Like, I'm talking about, like, when you went to this, like, party.
Well, I was already listening to, like, DJ Clue when I was, like, 16.
But, like, when you went to that party, like, you got pretty much, like...
I was 17.
Spray painting? Okay.
Yeah, and then, so I asked them, like, yo, can I play? And they're like, yeah, of course. So I played, and I dropped a track, and all the girlies were like, ah! And I'm like, oh, I found what I'm doing, you know, and I never looked back. So I did it for the girls.
Hey, you know what? And, like, that's why, honestly, that's why I really do love, like, the origin story. Because you just never know, like, what it was, and then, like, you know, look where it led you to. But, like, for me, when I started, the thing that, like, got me into it was there's this, like, cool... There was I mean, really, if you frame it like that, you're right, actually. But there was a guy that I really looked up to in high school that I thought was cool. And so I wanted to be cool. And I got into it a little bit because I idolized him.
Were you not cool?
I was cool, but I wanted to be cooler, and I thought that.
How cool were you?
I admired like his knowledge in music. Like he was always telling me about music. He was always telling me about hip hop.
Did you have your own knowledge of music at the time?
Yeah, I mean, but just like just very basic, like just the radio, just basic
what
stuff.
What station?
I mean, it was out in like the San Bernardino IE area, so it was like 9.1, like. But and then power whenever I would get close enough.
98.1?
No, 99.
99. Oh, KGGI?
Yeah.
You know,
how do you know that?
you know DJ Create?
I know of him, but I never met him.
That's a homie.
Yeah, I don't actually. I never really got to meet any of those guys except Devin Hype, and Devin was only there for like a quickness.
Temecula?
Yeah.
Temecula?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I randomly went to moved into the city of Orange a long time ago, and I was looking for things to do, and on MySpace I saw there was this club called Club Glam in Lake Forest, and I want to say like Fullerton, like the border, and at Diablo's, and I went there one night. I went there super early, and I was in one of the rooms, and the guy was playing Pitch Black, It's All Real, produced by DJ Premier. And I had that on vinyl, and I'm like, who the hell is this playing in a nightclub? And it was Alec, who that's his real name, Create. And I started chopping up with him, told him I was from the Bay. He asked me about hyphy music. This is like right when the hyphy movement was kicking off. And I had I was on CDJs, and I had like the original 800s with me all the time, and all my CDs are like I was like giving them tracks and stuff, and that's how we built our friendship. And he let me come and rock the spot with him.
Yeah. That's tight. That's tight, man.
So that's how I know about Riverside. So I played in Cahoots in Riverside, and Sevilla's.
Yeah. I mean, that's my area. I was in Rialto, and then I lived out there for a minute, and pretty much once I got hired at the DJ school at Scratch, then I made it a point because I finished my BA. So then I made it a point to move over there because I knew it. Like I got my BA in communication, but I knew that I was all in with DJing. Like I loved it. Mr. Chalk was also at Scratch when I was attending there. That's also where I met Dynamics there. I met so many people there. And then like the big thing for me, like funny thing is like once I went to the school, I really fell in love with just the culture like of the people. Like the music thing was cool, but like Mr. Chalk literally would like, or anybody there would like literally give me the shirt off their back, and so like I just love that. So I was like 18, 19, and it was just a bunch of these like just role models and music and then every like I was like the youngest one there when I barely started, so I had adults like in my class, and like it was cool to see them on the same journey. But I felt excited because I felt like I was like that's that young mentality for sure. But like I felt super excited because I was like, well, they're this age doing it, and I'm only here, and I'm already like, and I was moving fast because I had a lot of time on my hands, and it was just really exciting. Like that just really like boosted my self-esteem, and then like I said, I just loved it. And with them, because I was so eager to learn, and I was really just a sponge there. It was really good because they would tell me like any story or whatever, because I was just always willing to listen, and like it was dope. And that was a big thing that like pushed me into staying with it, why I fell in love with it.
Mr. Chalk was one of people who influenced me and inspired me, but it was from a different angle. Like I was a fan, and so I go out and buy his CDs. And I had Chocolate Flavor, and I would listen to him on Power when I come down here by records. And he was actually in the heavyweights also, but I seen him maybe one time, I think, maybe. But yeah, so his style, I always try to figure out what he was doing. I learned how to DJ by listening, not by watching. So I learned from Apollo. Apollo was my teacher without even knowing. I would just analyze his mixtapes, and then I go out and buy the records and like try what he was doing. Like, all right, so he did a duplet here, and he does it here. How did he get it to land? And like I was already into music like many years, so I knew what felt right when it came to measures, So yeah, we go out and buy doubles and learn his routines, and then I did the same thing with Mr. Chalk. I'm like, well, how did he do that one thing with Children's Story, and how, like where the horn just keeps going and going and going and going? And I figured out, and they probably teach it too. They drop the record on the 1, and then cross it over on the 2, or on the 3. But boom, boom, and so try that with Children's Story, and you'll hear that the horn just keeps going. That same note holds the note forever, and you miss that big cymbal at the beginning if you cut it in a little bit after the cymbal's volume's gone down.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy thing, and that again, like why I love hearing the origin story, because like I don't even know if I'd be a DJ, if I had to do all that. Like as far as like my learning experience.
It's on vinyl.
Yeah, like as far as my learning experience, like, so I give you guys like, the utmost credit for sure.
So I just spent like $45 just to do one full clip routine, because I found the album that was like $28, and then I think I found another random record that had it, and it was like at least $13, you know. So it probably doesn't add up, but it's somewhere around there.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, but you did
It's in
it
the Bay.
and you learned it.
The LA prices were different. Yeah, LA you go to Fat Beach, you get like a single for like $4.99, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But in the Bay it's like $10.99, $14.99. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's so I didn't talk about Mr. Chalk too. Is like he was so nice. I made a genuine like bond with him. So he was like nice enough to be like the kickoff for my party. Like he was on the first, like my first lineup in the summer. He had like the best spot, and I booked him and I booked his son. You familiar with his son?
Thurston?
Yeah, Thurston.
Yeah.
So and they're both like angels. I love both of those guys. They're super nice people. And
how much did you pay Mr. Chalk to open your party?
And then, so I had Mr. Chalk.
No, for real.
And
Tell the people what they want to know.
No, I'm not gonna release that information.
You think he'd be mad?
Huh?
You think he'd be upset? He'd be upset?
So. Yeah, I think so.
Even he's hooking you up?
Yeah.
Y'all are homies?
Yeah, because not everybody's his homie.
Yeah, but that's a privilege you get.
But I don't get to disclose that information.
I don't think I've ever booked Chalk, but I would share the homie price. Yeah. First time I saw Chalk in person, and actually had a conversation with him, he also was opening up a menu in Santa Rosa. It was his nightclub called Club 7. And somehow, the owner, Gianni, he knew, I don't know how he knew Mr. Chalk, but I was super stoked he booked him. It was weird because Gianni was like a house DJ, and he booked two of my favorite DJs that really had some of the first influence on me. And one of them was Mr. Chalk, and the other one was DJ Jam. You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
So he used to be Snoop Dogg's DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And DJ Jam was the first person I ever heard double cut on a mixtape. You know what that is?
You said double cut?
Yeah.
No, well, maybe if I heard it, but not.
Double cut is like an OG term, I feel like, nowadays. But it's like backspinning.
Oh, okay.
You know what backspinning is?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know what a backspin is. I don't know.
No, I mean DJing-wise, not breakdancing.
No, I mean, I just know of a backspin as like you pulling the record back. I don't know.
So maybe you can put me on some here. What do they call it when you're looping a record? You bring it back and play the same part.
Yeah, I just call it, I guess, just a loop, I guess. Like a manual loop.
Yeah, so back in the day, that was called double cutting or backspinning. And a lot of people would later on call it beat juggling. And I would always be like, that's not beat juggling. If you know what beat juggling is, it's not.
Yeah.
You know? You're not actually juggling if you're doing that. You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
You're like handing it off if you're doing that. You know?
Yeah, just like making it like a loop, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But that was double cutting, and I heard DJ Jam do that first with Nas's like on one of his mixtapes, and I was like, all right, I like that. You know, it shows some skills. He was doing a little wicka at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my other homie, he put me on to Spin Bad. He went to Winter Music Conference, came back with like a mixtape, and I'm like, bro, what is this? Because he took the, the dun 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 dun, stand up, the dun 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 dun, that last dun dun, and he took that dun 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 dun, stand up, and I'm like, oh my god, what is that? And I was like drumming, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I became a Spin Bad fan. And then I found Apollo around the same time, and then I heard his stuff, and it was very.
So you're saying like it was all. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You can finish that.
No.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so, like, as far as like you being taught, like for the most part it was all just by ear, like just listening to all these music. Yeah, it was all by.
All of it was by ear. There was nobody around me doing that shit.
So how long do you think it took like for you to feel like you got a good grip on things? Like
I had my first mixtape after a week.
Yeah.
A week of DJing at my house, literally in my closet, my DJ setup was in my closet, and my dad didn't allow me to have speakers hooked up because he worked out of the house and he didn't like loud music, you know. And so I always had headphones on. So, and I was heavy in skateboarding, so like I would go skate all day until it was dark, catch the last bus home, get home around 9, and then go into my, like, my shit was in the closet, I was staying outside the closet, start DJing till, like, I couldn't DJ no more, and it's on vinyl, and on the purple belt-driven, it might have been direct drive turntables, Newmark turntables, and matching mixer, and, yeah, I would just do that until I couldn't stay awake anymore, and that's just how I did it. And so I had mini discs, and that's how I make my mixes. I record for the mixer, it's a mini disc, and if I messed up, I would like go back and just chop it in and edit, like on the I don't even remember how I would do it, but
Yeah.
I remember I didn't ever use any like computers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I remember My Name Is was like the hot song. The first week I was DJing, and this is like back in the Napster days.
Eminem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is back in the Napster days, so I get
that
my
was like
music
that was
from
my
Napster.
that was my first CD, or like, cause that's on Marshall Matters, right? I think it is, right?
Remember you,
Oh, well, I think it is, but like, yeah, that was my like my first CD is an Eminem CD.
Yeah, it was wild. So that song was super hot, and then I got a CD burner, and so I would burn them one by one, and sell them at school. The week after I started DJing, for $10 a pop, and everyone would buy them, because at the time, like, you couldn't get mixes. Like, you could, but you have to know where to buy them, you know? You have to go to, like, the record shop. And where I lived in the country, so there was, like, no record shops. Like, none. And we're all in high school, and so we all want, like, that new jam, and I had it. And the only place you could hear it was, like, the radio, or you could, I guess you could download it from Napster, but not everyone was doing that at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And so how long you been DJing now?
Since December 99.
99. So you're like at 24 years or something like that,
23, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, what do you think? Like, what do you think about it all? Like, you know, if you could do it all, if you could do something back again, or like, you know, would there be anything that you would change?
Probably lots of stuff.
And like with DJing in particular?
Yeah, maybe, I mean, I'd probably do it all the same, but only because that's my habit. But if I had the ability to be different than my bad habits, then yeah, I would have been on the radio. I would have been making connections, more connections, and would have finished doing more academic stuff, and then had DJing as like something else. So I have like some other kind of job that brought in lots and lots of money, so I could like stick around and not worry about where money's coming from, you know?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of things I do differently might not be directly related to DJing, but would have an impact on it, you know?
Yeah. How old are you, if I might?
40 years old.
40?
Yeah.
You just turned 40?
No, I'm about to turn 41.
Oh, okay. When did you turn 40?
April 7th.
Oh, okay. I'm April 15th.
Oh shit, so I'm older than you.
Yeah, I'll be 30. I'll be 32 in April.
All right.
Yeah. Man, that's a story right there. Like, all of it. I love it. I really do love to. I love to hear it all. And what about, like, what about advice that you would give maybe to like someone that's kind of like starting out, or just advice like to this person who's like on the pursuit, you know? What are some like maybe some advice that
what
you
are
would
their,
give?
what are their what are their goals?
Tell them that like what are their goals? Oh, you're just saying in general, like what?
I have different advice for
Oh, different
different
goals.
goals. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, maybe like just a couple that maybe like that you feel like are important to address. Maybe like the things that
Throw some goals out there, and I'll be like, all right, do this.
you said. What?
Throw some goals out there.
Those some goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what's this person trying to do?
Yeah.
Tell
Oh, okay. How about be an artist as DJ?
I don't know. I haven't done that. I'm trying to do that. I really want to do that actually.
Yeah.
I know The Weeknd's DJ. I know Young and May's DJ. I know the Union Twins DJ. I would love to DJ for alternative rock band.
Yeah. So, Devin does. Well, I don't know if they're considered alternative, but he was doing. Who was he doing? I'm blanking now. I don't know. It's not MGK, but it's Fuck. I don't know why I'm blanking now.
When I think of him, I think of like Incubus. I mean, like some metal ass.
Damn it. I don't know why I'm blanking on what Devin. Devin, sorry if you're listening to this. I forgot totally what you do, but I mean, as far as like who you play for mainly.
Look it up.
I could look it up real quick. Let me see. But you know what's cool is I'll say this, Lazy Boy, is that when I had Devin on here, he told me that. Like he told me that he wanted to be an artist DJ, and so it was so cool to see that come into like fruition for him because he had told me that, like he manifested it. Like, and this is like just when I started the podcast. So I think the year that I started it, which was like 2019, the year that I started it, I had him on, and we talk about that, and he says that he wants to be an artist DJ because the big thing with Devin was that he was telling me is that pretty much like that he was tired of playing at these parties because he felt like his skill was like not really being acknowledged, and he also just wanted to like just do him, and like he says that he worked so hard on like everything that he learned is that like he's got to be at a place where they appreciate it, and so he felt like the artist thing would be a good route for him.
I want to do it because I want to tour, and I feel like that would be really good. I'm on his Instagram, but I don't really see.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. I just got there too. I don't know. Maybe he's not playing for them so much anymore.
Yeah, I want to tour. I want to feel what it's like. I know it's like draining. I've talked to a handful of friends who've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got my first job touring with an artist last year.
And what artist was that?
Oh my God! It like I cannot remember. Let me look up what his manager's name was.
Okay, I'm gonna check back on Devin real quick because I was just looking through his stuff. So for those of you guys who are listening or watching,
all right. So the artist's name was Adam Calhoun. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So he's a country rapper.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Like Lil Nas?
No. Super right wing, politically, and use the N word and he's white. In I believe one or more songs. And was against abortion, played on Pride weekend, and is against
Abortions?
homosexuality.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. And did it on purpose to like upset people.
Yeah, sorry.
And I like was talking to my manager and I was talking to some friends, and it's actually kind of interesting because my DJ friends or my friends that actually went on tour with people, they were like, I told them my issues with it, right? It's not like good to pair myself up
Yeah.
with something that might bite me in the ass later on.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Even if, like, and so my friend's like, well, what are you getting out of it? What do you want to get from it? And I'm like, well, I want to tour. I want to see the country. I want to be on these stages in front of these people and rock. I want to see what it's like to be on tour. I want to make the money, and I want to have lots of sex with lots of hot right-wing chicks, whatever, you know. And they said, well, then you should do it if you're gonna get these things from it, you know. And I'm like, I hear you. And really, it was my manager saying I wouldn't do it. That really, that and my other friend Jeff, who said don't do it. This guy's all kinds of fucked up. That really pushed me in the direction of, all right, yeah, you know, I'm gonna listen to my homies, you know. But I'm kind of like not too sure if I made the right decision because it was 5 weeks, and I would have gotten out of there with like close to 18 grand in 5 weeks, right? And I would have got myself out of COVID debt. I would have been able to pay for all the engine malfunctions my cars had, and been able to have all the experiences that I wanted, and had some money left over.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it would have been really interesting touring with someone who had a whole different background than me, you know? And I had 2 talks with the manager, one just intro, and the second with their sound guy talking about how we were gonna work out all his pyrotechnics and stuff with the set through Serato, you know? Because their stuff really ran well off of Ableton, and which is fine by me, but we were trying to figure out a way that I could do my kind of performance and still work with all their stuff. So it was like a real technical, and we're about to book the flight to fly out to them, meet them for the tour, to be on the tour bus and start the tour.
So when did you find out about that stuff?
Dude, someone tagged me on Instagram and said that, and I watched it. It was a story saying, "Yo, we need a DJ. We want the best of the best." Da, da, da.
No, well, I'm curious about like when did you find out about the songs and the him?
Immediately,
him
I did my
doing-
research, and right when I got the thing, you know, and
like just to like see like who is this guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, freaking, it wasn't even like, he wasn't even that good, you know. But I appreciate what he did because he was like, not all of his songs were like shit that I would cringe at, you know. Some of them were like, I like that he liked to rock the boat, you know. I like that he went against the grain, because I'm really rock the boat against the grain type myself as well. So I have an appreciation for that, and I don't mind having different political views and different perspectives on life than someone else. I have no problem with being in the same room. I have no problem with hanging out with them a lot. I think it leads to opportunity to have discussions and share a different perspective, which I'm all about. I don't know everything, you know. I'm learning stuff all the time, you know.
Right.
And I can teach stuff too, you know, or explain it, you know. And I felt like it was my duty to let them know my position, since he was such a person of a political standpoint with perspective. Um, and so I told his manager, I said, hey, look, this is where I come from. This is how I feel. I'm pro this. I'm anti this. I just want to be upfront with y'all, and I'm down to do the tour. I'm down to do it, but I just really want to be upfront about this. Last thing I want is us to get in the bus and then something I say or something they say like just ruins what you guys are planning. You know, like as far as like having a schedule and having everyone that needs to play their part. You know.
Mm.
And I never got a call back ever again from that. And the fact that it really would have helped me in a very challenged situation that I still am in right now, it really makes me look back and be like, you know, did I really make the right choice?
Yeah.
Here is opportunity knocking at my door that would have set me up really well, and I could have been an influence in helping someone, maybe help someone shift their mindset, or maybe I would have had some really interesting life lessons from that, you know.
Yeah. That's a big one, bro. Like that's a really big that's a big topic, and like I'm glad that you brought that up, and that's like something that's like I feel like that's something that doesn't, that's definitely a stone that, like, you know, out of the 40 episodes that we've done, like I don't think we've ever touched on that, you know.
It was rare, and it sucked because like here's everything I wanted, you know, with some other shit, and we don't always get what we want, you know. There's always something, you know, that like, you know, oh, I really love this like brown sugar boba, but I'm not a big boba fan, but it's only because of boba. Oh well.
Yeah.
This is something that I just made
Yeah,
that
but
decision.
you know what? Honestly, like the way that I feel about it all, like I think that that's also a part of DJing, and that's a part of like, um, I think that is, it's a part of life, is that there are gonna be like that's what all like life is all about, right? Like it ties into the choices thing, but also like you have nothing but opportunities, and not every opportunity is designed for you. You know what I mean? Like I think that, and I'll give you a prime example, like a beginner DJ just learning how to DJ, and you know, like you get asked to do this like this huge set, and you definitely like you really just learn how to do it, and like maybe that's a bad example, but I just mean in the sense of
No,
like,
it is.
like
It's a great example, and I totally relate to it.
but you know, like you might not be ready, and I think that like yeah, like you might not be ready for that moment, and you could like go up there and you completely just fucking wreck the whole thing, and like then you could be that one viral video of the person that's just like the most terrible person, and that could like tarnish your brand forever, and you, and another thing is I kind of want to point this out too, is that like, you know, I talked to you about it, like the fact that I've been going to the Duo for 9 years, and like I always wanted to play there, and I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to play there, but like, you know, like I could have played there maybe like some years before, but the thing is that the reason I don't dwell on it is because like I know that I wouldn't have been at the skill level that I am today, so I'm not mad at that.
How good are you now?
Huh?
How good are you?
I'm good now. Like I'm really good. Like I'm proud
What
of.
separates you from that person then and this person now?
Well, my technical ability like is definitely like through the roof. Like,
Yeah.
what's up? Yeah,
DJ-wise.
I mean everything. Like, you know, everything is different from then. Like, and you know,
You're
like you
not
talked
different?
about.
You're not big of a different? How many years ago?
Well, I mean, it could have been any year. I've been going to the Duo for 9 years. Like, you know.
Could have been any year? What do you mean could have been any year? You just got it like that, huh?
No, I just mean I just mean it in the sense of like.
I wish I
Like
could
I
say
had
that. I want to play a drummer.
I'm saying like I'm saying like I don't know what really determines like, you know, like how you get there, right? But like as far as like going and doing the things that I could do, which were like going and being supportive and like, you know, networking with the people who throw it. Like I did that. I did that for 9 years straight, and and it was never like I never asked one time, and I like that's what they told me. Like I never asked one time to get booked, but like I was just always there because it was a good party. I loved it.
I was told that if you ask, you won't get booked.
They say that. They say that. But then
There's truth to that?
But then you hear like closed mouths don't get fed. Well, I'm not. Are you saying
So who do you know who
Are you saying
actually
specific?
asked?
Are you saying specifically for the do-over,
Mm-hmm.
or just in general?
Do-over.
Oh, well, I never asked. But I've heard of people that have
And they got
asked
put
before,
on?
and they got put on.
Oh, shit. Donovan, you hear that? You're
But
wrong.
not to say that like maybe they I don't know if they get booked all the time, you know, like that might impede it.
Hey.
But you said you've heard that if you ask, like, you definitely won't ever.
So my manager is friends with someone that is directly involved in it. Like, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the two guys that throw it are Jamie Strong and Haycox.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll text him.
Well, I mean, it's so what did you hear or whatever you're saying? What did your manager say? You trying to get specifics?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, I know you don't like talking names, but it's always interesting, and people like to hear that shit.
All right, so
I'm not knocking anyone. Even if I am knocking someone, like I'm saying it from like a critiquing, constructive criticism type of view. You know, like I'm saying, hey, this is where you can do better. You know, or I'm not.
So, but you're saying that like you heard that like if you ask, then you won't.
Yeah. I was trying to get my manager to like tap in on his resources so I could like
to play.
Yeah, I want to play. Like you, it's a dream of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and it's interesting because sometimes you hear people that just have like no skill and they're on the stage, right?
Yeah.
And really just obviously like anything, it's all about who you know.
And you know what? I want to add something that like I love to point this thing out because like I feel like a lot of people need to hear it, and it's this sentiment of also like because we're talking about the whole topic is like this closed mouths don't get fed type of thing, but like it's so crazy that this is really like it's such a thin line, right? Like prime example, let's say you want to play somebody and you're bugging for like you're bugging for a month to play there, right? And here's the two outcomes. Like you do that for a month, you're hitting them up all the time, like, hey, can I play here? They finally agree to putting you on. Now, let's just say you do one of these two things. Like, if you do a good job, then man, you were so persistent. Like, man, Lazy Boy's persistent. Like he was just knocking on my door the whole time, but he fucking crushed it, right? But if you do bad, then you were a pest. Like that Lazy Boy was bothering me for a month trying to play. I fucking let the guy on and he sucked.
And,
you know?
and I don't think it matters whether you bug or not. If you tank, and you gotta like patch that up. It's a trip. I asked to do this Generations party in Oakland one time, and I was so hyped. I spent like 2 days digging music, right? And I don't play in that area much, and it's a different demographic, different crowd, and I really what I could have done to set myself up to win is just really analyze, go out there and listen, and be there more than once and more than twice. Be a regular there and really understand what they want to hear, and then curate my set around that. You know, but like I said, I'm really against the grain, so I wanted to throw some shit that they would never expect, right? But it's a great song, and I got so caught up in this and then that it just the set.
You missed the mark.
Yeah, it was a swing and a miss, hard miss. It was strike out. Yeah, and so like I never ever got asked to come back, and that's a fear, and it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it. I had another really dope set one time, maybe a year or so ago, and I played it, and it was also a swing and a miss. But then I played the same selection in a different order for another party and fucking home run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I actually did the same thing recently. We have a party called Hella Cheese, and it's all this like cheesy guilty pleasure music.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun party.
Yeah,
love it.
I seen your post about that. It's in the Bay, right?
Yeah, well, actually, we had one in San Diego, a pop up, and then me and Steve Dub are building one in here in LA.
Shout out to Steve Dub.
Steve Dub, super clean, dope DJ. Check him out.
I agree. No.
Him and Dynamics are probably the only people I'd fuck with when it comes to like a performance level routine. And I told both of them that, and we just haven't gotten together.
Yeah.
I did a show.
Dynamics too.
Yeah, I did a show with Steve Dub. We just opened up for Jizza and RZA happened to pop up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And some other cats who else was there? I forget, some other routine. Shit, what was I saying?
Well, I know we were just talking about like, you know, how you were telling me, you were just about telling me like the second party that it was a hard swing and a miss.
Oh yeah, so at Helen Cheese, and I'd done this before, and it was like a home run.
Yeah.
But I spent some more time on digging around, finding like, I wanted a part of our party where, cause we have those sections of our party like, at one point we'll stop. I'll play like a break and bring the high pass down into the low pass filter, and then our host will hop on the mic and tell everybody, yo, we're about to give out some request forms and some free drink tickets, and then my partner pulls out the money guns, and we have a fan, and he blasts these cheese like bills that have like request forms, and like here and there there's some free drink tickets, right? And they shoot out, and
that's cool. That's fun.
And so that's like one segment of our party. We have another segment where we have all this like every time we'll try to drop like YMCA, and we have like the whole like outfits, and we'll hand them out to hot chicks, and they're here from the stage and dance. Yeah, it's fun. And then another part that I wanted was like, all right, we gotta kill the lights, like the stage lights at this time, and then flip on all the yellow lasers with the fog, and then we're gonna just have my guilty pleasure, which is like 90s, 2000 rave fucking shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, Zombie Nation, Better Off Alone, The Launch,
some Planet Soul or something.
Sandstorm. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've played Planet Storm yet.
Planet Soul, Set You Free. That's like, maybe that's a little bit, maybe late 80s.
That's like freestyle.
Yeah.
More. Yeah, this is like slightly different.
You're talking about Darude Sandstorm, right?
Yeah. And then this other one, Fat Bass, which is like the from Blade Runner or something.
Oh, okay, Blade Runner.
Yeah, there's like 7 different remixes or more, so it was a tricky one to find. Blue, iPhone 65, like all, Banger Boys, Banger Bus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like all that instance, like 143 type of shit, right?
Right. So you're trying to set that up?
Yeah. So like, other time before last, before I knocked out the part. This time, I just had them in the wrong order. And they got down, but it wasn't like everyone jumping and bouncing to it. It wasn't like that super duper. It had more potential.
And and that's DJing, right? Like you could have the same set and play it somewhere else, and it'll go off like a million times, and then you play it in the wrong area and it doesn't hit at all, Yeah, and so that isn't the importance of that. But I I, I kind of want to go back to that little thing that we are talking about, and it's like, do you like that statement that I told you about? Like, do you feel like that's true? Like the whole like
Statement.
like how like there's a it's such a fine line between being persistent
Oh.
and like you know like yeah, like being persistent and just being like a pest. You know what I mean? Because like I said, like you could not want to ask, but then if you don't ask, like you could never be put on at some point, maybe, because they'll be like, "Oh, I never know you wanted to play here, homie," But at the same time, if you're bugging all the time, then they're like, "Ah, that guy's a pest," But then again, if they finally do put you on, then and you kill it, like, hey, like you were dope, like you were consistent, you weren't a pest.
Yeah, there was a party in LA I tried to hit on really hard. It was Boombox. And Inca said
Oh
that,
yeah.
well, it was kind of a different situation. I was like, not sure if I was going to live or die, and he came up to the bank and he like travels a lot for his other job.
Yeah.
And,
Shout out to Inca. He was like a little. I always want to say real quick, like he was like a hope of light, when I went to the do-over. Like he was the one who kind of like welcomed me in there. It was cool. Like when
Really?
when I went inside like the VIP area, I was alone. I didn't know nobody, and then like I talked to. I only recognized him really, and so he was like, he was cool.
I love that guy. He's funny and he's cool, yeah. And he'll tell you how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's nice.
Yeah, so it kind of like pointed in the direction of, yeah, I'll book, yeah, sure, anytime I'll book you, And maybe that was just me misunderstanding the situation. But later on down the line, it was like, nah, man, you gotta earn your keep, you gotta show me that you got your own thing going in the same family, you gotta be doing this hip hop thing. Like, yeah, I can throw down a set that I curate for his party, but that's not what he's looking for, And so, and it was him dodging me saying, "Yo, what's up? I'm trying to like meet that what I understood was you saying, yeah, you booked me, 'cause I love doing original samples and like, and I love doing a lot of the stuff that I see happen there, and I understand like why he doesn't want to book me, and I get it and I respect it. I'm also sad, I can have multiple feelings for the same thing, and both. And I was a little disappointed because I thought there was this agreement or this idea, and did I misread that, or did things change because now I'm not dying? Like what? What happened? Like what was the real thing? I haven't sat down and had a conversation with him because I don't really. It's not that big of a deal. I still respect him and I respect the party and I respect him as a human being. But sometimes you gotta like. It's not about asking. Sometimes it's about setting yourself up to be in a position where you're noticed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's a lot of things to be said about that. It's kind of like there's that phrase where you say like like to be undeniably good, and then that like that demands respect, and like that you would think is like the thing that like will get you into any door.
It
but
doesn't demand respect.
But like
you think it might.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, man, like I get respect where people know who I am, but like I said, chances are a lot of places only 1% might know who you are. No matter what kind of like label you have.
Yeah.
There's always someone who's super popular that they go to this other area and nobody knows who they are.
Yeah. I'm at a little low, to be honest. Like, but I mean, I'm kind of like just letting that sink in, because that can be true,
It's a good thing, though. I mean, like what I learned from that is that, he really um, is picky on who he has played there, and he really wants um, more of a, hey, I can do this. He wants a, this is what I do.
Yeah.
You know, and I respect that, because everyone who goes there knows every lyric to all these tracks that some of mine never heard before. You know.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I'm not really a lyric person. I don't know any lyrics pretty much, but I admire that.
Yeah, and I could see that too, because like I've gone there, and I can appreciate the spot, but like it wasn't for me. Like I wouldn't want to do a set there, cause I don't know it like that.
If you play the wrong shit, I can see someone get booed off the stage.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe not. They're all really pretty nice.
Yeah, but yeah.
And the heads are the heads. Someone's gonna say something at some point, you know. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and yeah, like that. I mean, there's a lot to be said about that too. Like, you know, in the sense of like, you know, I feel like you'll probably argue this, but like, you know, know your lane. I would say. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and that's like, you know, if you only do top 40 and you're trying to play there, like it just is not gonna happen. Like that's not the vibe there, you know.
Yeah, I came up listening to hip hop and there's lyrical stuff, like really heavy, loved it, and I wasn't into like like I said, I've always been like really against the grain, and so I was listening to whatever I was listening to, and just because everyone liked this group or this rapper, I wasn't. If I didn't find it appealing, I wasn't really listening to it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that goes the same for me. Like my buddies would make fun of me at Scratch. I have a friend. Shout out to Gravity One. But he always says that I have like my DJ hat on, because like whenever I go out, like for one, like if I see DJs, I'm always critiquing. I'm always like,
it's natural.
Yeah, but also like there's a lot to it. Like I'm looking for other talent, because I have a party now and I want to put on more talent, you know. And so yeah, but if you're coming correct, then cool. Like I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna hit you up. Like I'm gonna hit you up to be on my party. But if not, then like it's okay. Like maybe just not for like. This isn't your lane.
I'm not hitting you up. I'm not.
You know, whatever.
We can be Instagram friends, but I ain't following you. You can follow me.
I'll keep it cool with them. But you know, as far as putting them on, hey, and it takes time. Like, you know, like the same thing. Like we talk about do over. Like I wasn't ready yet. And then, you know, the set that they assigned me, they told me legit like the day before. They told me, but I've been preparing all month. Fortunately,
they told you the time that you knew you were playing.
Yeah.
What time?
So.
You know, prime time.
They booked. They booked me, from 10:45 till 12.
No pressure. That's like that's a hot spot.
After Flashadamas.
Oh shit! All right.
And Flashadamas, I just did like a hard set the day before in like the IE San Bernardino area. Yeah. So yeah, no fucking pressure, man. But I had prepared. Like all month, I was going to shout out to Skills Over Everything. I was taking private lessons with DJ Revolution, another friend of mine, and yeah, like I told him I had the opportunity and that I just really wanted to shine. Like this is something that I've been always wanted to do, so I want to do a dope ass set, you know. And I've been going to the party enough to know what hasn't been played, and what I would like was longing to hear there. And I knew also that I wasn't gonna, even with my set that I did, like it was a dope set, but it could have been at any time, because like it was like hip hop stuff, it was party stuff, it was like duddy like reggae stuff, I went like a little bit K-Tronada, I went into some Afrobeat stuff, and then I had some party, and then like at the very end of it, like I just went into party shit, you know. And like that was all those things that I did. Like I said, it could have been like at any time. So I honestly thought that I was gonna be like at like 10, but I was gonna play some hot shit, but not like shit that anybody was really gonna play. And honestly, like I went like an hour or two early, and I didn't hear any songs that I played in my set. There were like no repeats. So I think I did a good job. And you know, like later that night, I ended up having dinner with Haycox, that's who throws a party. which is like it's super surreal to me because this is the guy that I seen every time, but I would only say hi to him, you know, and kind of just like that's it. That I was like, okay, good to see you, Wally. Thanks for coming through, and that was it. And then that night, you know, everything just got flipped upside down because then he needed a ride to the spot to go eat, so he went in my car, took him to, you know, and we're talking the whole time.
Nice.
And then like I'm then he makes like the joke where he's like dude, Flash Adamas opened up for you. I was like, yeah, like what the I was like, what the fuck, like, you know, like what was that? He's like honestly, like I knew you could handle it, like he's like, you know, the party, you know, the vibe. And I knew that, like I had the home field advantage because I'm there all the time, you know, and I knew what, like I said, I knew what hadn't been played there and what like I knew like the classic bangers that kind of had to be played, but if you put a flip on it, it'd be cool, you know, like something like Simon Says, like everybody plays Simon Says at the do-over, right? Like, so then how can you do it in your own way or whatever, you know? So I had my little things that
I had my way.
You know, I had my own little thing, yeah.
You seen my way?
What's up?
Have you seen my way?
My way?
I'm doing the Simon Says.
No, I mean I'm sure I have, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I really enjoyed writing it.
Yeah, you know, and like dropping it at the do-over is like that's like a staple song that gets played there. But again, like, you know, you do it in your own way.
I don't even play it. That's the thing. Well, actually, I have a remix that I made. So I play Motown on Mondays also.
Yeah.
And,
that's another spot I would love to play at.
Yeah, they're all. My manager actually is the founder of it. He started it.
Gordo.
Yeah, and but each one is ran by a different person, so to get booked at them, you gotta talk to like whoever's in charge for each one. Yeah, I played in LA 2, maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
But I gotta
As
go.
Expo?
Yeah, Expo booked me. But now it's Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So sorry Jedi, probably getting a lot of DMs now. But,
hey, he puts names out. There.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Respect to Jedi.
I met him a long time ago, like when I was a kid at like Turntable Lab. That's when I first met him.
You know, so one of the last times I went there, I'm like balls deep into photography. I'm like DJing on the back burner right now. Like I'm all about. I do photography now, like I did DJing. Remember I told you I get home at this
closet.
Time.
Yeah.
Except for I'm not doing my closet. I've got to go outside. Shit, you know? I don't even have a closet. Yeah, so actually it's interesting because I looked at it the same way that I looked at DJing. So when I started DJing, I was like, only compare myself to people that I want to be as good as or better than. So these are like all the people I told you: DJ Jam, Chalk, Apollo, Spin Mad, Revolution, Rectangle, and I would consider myself more of a mixtape DJ. Yeah, I can rock a party and I have fun doing that, but my best talent you're going to hear from me is something doing an audio collage, you know. And I was telling someone in my class that last night when they were asking about my DJ stuff. I listened to my Black Lives Matter mix, listened to my DJ City mix, listened to my tribute to Robin Williams mix. Yeah, because they're like,
I haven't heard that one. I want to hear that one.
Yeah, these are things that I was, maybe that's a DJ City one. That was just a lot of fire in my ass because it's DJ City, and you already know, like, everyone listening are DJs. And I wanted to give them something that they hadn't had, and I felt like I delivered.
Right. Yeah, I just had one for BPM Supreme that it wasn't super technical, but I put in a lot of things that, like, I think it really, like, made people think, like, oh, these are cool, but they're not, like, being played at the clubs.
So I do, like, mixtape style. Is that what you're doing for that?
Well, I mean, I did it through Ableton. I mean, like, as far as mixtape, you mean, like, with, like, a lot of, like, dropping stuff? Or, like...
Hell of layers, just, like, scratching over this, panning the scratches, and, like, lining it all up.
Mine's like that, but, like, super basic.
How long was it?
I did that one in, like, I did that one because they told me like a week ahead, so that's how long I had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not helpful. How long was it?
Oh wait, how long was the mix?
Yeah.
An hour.
How long did you spend on it?
I spent a lot. I don't know, like 10 hours.
10
least,
hours? That's a
least.
lot of hours. I want to hear it now.
Well,
Right. Now I'm excited.
well, I mean, but that's the thing is, I spent 10 hours, but not to like take it down a step, but like I also don't. I'm not that good with Ableton, so it takes me longer. I'm just gonna be real.
You do intros and stuff? Do you like wordplay and like scratch sentences?
Not scratch sentences, but
You had like the best teacher for it
I
too.
did like some wordplay stuff.
You
Which
know
one?
that, right?
Which one?
You had the best
I
teacher.
say, but yeah, I had a lot of teachers.
Revolution.
Yeah. So that's who helped me with the do-over mix.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I mean, we the do-over mix. I think also you check that one out. You'll like it. It's nice. It's not super crazy, but it's just
Like hour and a half.
everything. It's just an hour. Well, yeah, actually, it's like an hour 15.
Yeah.
But it's just good flow. Like my big thing is like just flow. You know.
Yeah.
So like everything makes sense. And with Revolution, he definitely helped me smooth things out because I went to him with a crate of songs that I wanted to play at the do-over, and it's like helped me like make it make sense.
You have to pay for that.
Yeah.
That session. That
Fuck
make
yeah.
it make sense.
Yeah. And a matter of fact, like this year, like I made it a point for myself to do this where I paid him for the entire year, for 2-hour lessons a month, pretty much, so that I can get better.
No, that's good.
And whatever
what are you
way.
working on?
What's up?
What are you working on?
Whatever it is. So like with him, it's like, scratching a lot. I focus on a lot of scratching, but like whatever current project I have. So now I have like a new project that I'm working on, like another mix. I'll tell it because you got me in the spirit because you've been talking about everything so publicly. Last year I did a Lovers and Friends mix, and I did it as a tribute mix to the concert, and I got a lot of like positive feedback on it. And a TikTok viral person found it, shared it, and took my mix from 1,000 plays to 9,000 plays, and used my audio in like her videos twice. So it really like got a lot of people looking at me for that, and I'm like, you know what? Like they're doing a second one. And realistically, I'll give the credit to my girlfriend. My girlfriend was like, you should do another one, and I was like, you know what? Sure. Like all these artists, it's easy for me. I already have all the music, so now let's do it again. And then so that Lovers and Friends mix, I designed it like a year prior because the concert actually got canceled. So I had all the tracks like laid out already, and then even with that one, I had Dynamics. I had Dynamics help me like with the mix, and then we went through it and made.
What was the first thing he said?
He liked it.
No. What was the first like advice he said?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like for the mix.
Yeah.
Well, we just critiqued like everything, like every little.
You said anything about the beginning?
I mean, just I don't remember anything in particular. Like I think that like that's the attention grabber essentially. Like.
Yeah. So that's kind of what he was told me. So like he critiques one of my Black Lives Matter mix. He's like, you need like this bass drop at the beginning. So he actually made the bass drop for me, like it was like, I'm like, oh shit. I remember I played it the other day for someone, and they're like, oh, they heard just the beginning, like, oh, all right. I'm like, bass dynamics.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So he helped me with mine, and I know him through the school, and these are all these lessons are paid. I'm paying for these private lessons, but I know it. Like I know the value, and I don't argue it. Like I don't refute it, and I know like that they're these guys they're legends. Like they earned it. Blah blah blah. Like the reasons go on, but
I still argue it, but they do deserve it. I'm not gonna front. They deserve it, but I'm trying to get like that. I'm poor. I'm a DJ. Like that's it. Yeah. And I'm new to LA, so like all my gigs are in the Bay, which cost me a lot of money to get up there, and I haven't got a foothold down here yet, And on top of that, LA prices are
shit.
Like, I asked this one person, hey, I want to start video mixing with you because I really appreciate how they do it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Irv. He's super sick. And he happens to manage a bunch of spots.
Where they video mix.
Yeah, and One of them.
Oh, and you did that kind of like for your Goldies, right? Your Goldie
Well, I've
submission
been doing video mixing
it-
since the '57,
Mm.
the Rain '57,
Right,
when they
right.
had a video add-on, and I haven't been doing it solid, so like my collection doesn't reflect like 15 years,
Yeah.
you know. But but I know
You mean
enough.
like steady, right? You're saying like
Yeah,
yeah.
and I've ditched my catalog and started over.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just on my laptop I have right now, it's all I started my entire library over,
Mm-hmm.
and I like
Oh,
doing
shit.
that every once in a while because it's just
Really? You like reset your whole library?
oh yeah, everything. Yeah.
Oh, you're crazy.
It is crazy.
Cause you guys do that. I couldn't do it. I've had mine for too long, and I like that's my my dissertation, and
How organized is it?
what?
Is it really good? Like,
No.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I always spend like the crate hackers say. I always spend hella time looking for trying to find this track that
Yeah.
I labeled a certain way. So less is more. So and what I noticed, and even though this person probably has like tens
Yeah.
of thousands of
It's
of
quality
songs,
over quantity,
But-
essentially.
Shortcut, when you look through his crates, he has like a crate of what a specific thing, right? And he'll only have maybe like 4 songs in there, you know? And I'm like, damn, dude, I like that because I'm really only gonna play those tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no need for me to have, 100 of different versions of
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I appreciate that. So I'm trying to really minimize my library.
Your library, yeah.
Yeah. So restarting, as scary as it was, I still have my other laptop. So if I need something, what I did at the beginning when I started switching over is I have both laptops, right? And I do my best to set myself up to win with this one. And if I don't have it ready and I'm searching for something, oh shit, it's not on here, I'll airdrop it from the other computer, and or I'll download it using DMix, which is just how to download from Spotify, you know, and
Oh, you download from Spotify?
yeah, 320, I can use that in like
I didn't even know that was it. I didn't know you could do that.
yeah, I can use that from in like 5 seconds. I have any song that's on Spotify.
Oh shit. Okay, I might have to pick your
Yeah,
brain about that one.
320.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a 12-inch, so you're not gonna find all these like dope remixes and shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are airdrop, you know.
Yeah.
But if it's just like a 12-inch, you know, and I
You don't want to
chances
buy
are
it
my
from
old
iTunes.
laptop, it's probably not 320.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be something else, and I know it's gonna be 320 if I download this other
From
way. You know?
Spotify.
So I'll just do it right there, unless it's like some complex cue points
Yeah.
for a routine,
Yeah.
in which case I have to send it over.
Yeah. I don't think I could do it. I think Jazzy talks about that where like I think he keeps everything. I think Jazzy, from what I understand, he says he keeps everything, and then even I think I've heard him say like that he doesn't even delete like his curated set. So if he designed like a set for your party, he wouldn't delete it. Like he'd like put it in like maybe like a curated sets folder. And I tried that because I heard him say that, and so I just recently like set that up. You know, like a folder that has curated sets. So I have one from like a lovers and friends type of vibe.
Where's the
Like-
opening to this thing?
What's up?
How do I hit it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You on?
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited for this lovers and friends. You know, why don't you take that to the promoter?
Yeah.
And
I
get on the stage.
yeah, like that's that's kind of like
And obviously you can't play the artists that are there, you know.
yeah. That's
but
like that's
It's
like
even better because there's a lot of artists that aren't there.
yeah.
I mean, that's a fucking staff now. What, 100 people on there?
Yeah, it's a shitload.
But there's still 100 that aren't on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That are the same demographic.
I mean, I would love to. I mean, that was kind of like the design of like the first one is like I don't know who's gonna hear it and I don't know like where it's gonna get me, but like I just want to do
knowing
it.
it is gonna make it happen. And here I am fucking telling you something that you've already done that I haven't done. But, you know, I can see it and I know it.
Yeah.
I'm just not stepping up to do it myself, you know?
And I had a buddy of mine, like,
You know the do-over, right? You have that connect. So what's the difference between that and doing the same thing over here?
yeah, well, because like you said, I don't know the connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a buddy that like was telling me that he was in like a heavy, like pretty much potentially had a connect, and so
There you go.
I gave it to him, and then he did submit it, but then the uh, the company got switched because it was owned by somebody else, and now Usher owns it, and so now I guess I would need to know somebody in that range.
Reach out to Usher.
Yeah.
Reach out to his management.
Yeah.
You know?
Send him the mix.
Look at the look online and find out who is really running all this. Who is Usher hiring to do the event? Find out the promoter, you know?
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah.
I want to play at the Rose Bowl, but it's already the whole lineup's already there. But,
What event?
The indie rock one they have.
Just Like Heaven.
Yeah, I want to rock that.
Hey, so I bought VIP tickets to go.
So, I'm looking at them. I'm poor. I can't do that shit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like real quick a little like just something crazy that happened to me. So, in October, this is before like I was officially dating my girlfriend, but you know, yeah. But anyways, like she was there helping me. She was there helping me like set up my costume, and
For what? For the October party?
yeah, like yeah. I think my party. She was helping me set up for my costume. Anyways, or maybe even just another one.
What
But
were you?
what's
Sorry. What were you?
Oh, it was the Avatar,
yeah.
the Last Airbender.
So
yeah.
she was there helping you out.
Yeah, so she was there helping me out, and you know how it goes. Like sometimes when people are talking to you, you might hear like a phrase or a word, and it makes you think of a song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she said the word wait. She said wait, and when she said that, I instantly thought of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I thought of them, and I was like, oh, you know what? And when I get like that, because we have that convenience, I have to hear the song immediately if I can, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, hey, have you ever heard of this band called Yeah Yeah Yeahs? And she said, no. So she's sitting down on the couch. I was like, well, let me play this song for you. So I started playing that song, and it's crazy, man. Like right when I played that song, I had this like overwhelming feeling of my mom. And you don't know this, but my grandparents adopted me because when I was 3 years old, my mom passed away. So I never really knew my mom though. I was always raised by my grandparents, and like I call them mom and dad. Like I love them to death. But realistically, like my mom, she gave her life for mine when she passed. So I have a lot of value on life, but also I never really knew my mom. So there's always been a disconnect there. So it was weird that like I felt this overwhelming feeling. I'm 31 years old. I've never felt that in my life. Like such a presence of her. So then, like the song, the part of that song that made me think of her is that line, like, wait, they don't love you like I love you. That's the line. And like when I felt this feeling, like I just broke down and started crying. Like I really like, and it wasn't sadness. It was just like, oh my God, like I feel my mom, and I like through music. And I like I said, I just never felt that. And, like, I don't know exactly what it was. I truly think that a big part of it is because I feel like my girlfriend reflects like the love or like niceness that I would have received from my mother. Like if I had to tie like make sense of it in some way, shape, or form, that's what that's all I could really come about. It like I don't know what exactly the message was. I mean, the line is, like I said, wait, they don't love you like I love you. I don't think that she's trying to say that she's not going to love you like I would, but like I said, it was huge to me. It really was. And because of that whole experience, and there was a couple other things that happened with music between her and I, it really kind of just like, I got to listen to this. I got to listen to the music. Like the music has been guiding me all my life. And so I told my buddy, I was like, hey, if the Yeah Yeah Yeahs are playing at Coachella, I'm gonna marry this girl, cause like as crazy as it sounds, like all these things are kind of pointing me in the direction, and I knew it was like a long shot. Like I don't know if they're gonna play at Coachella, you know. So then Coachella gets dropped. They're not on the lineup, but I was just kind of like laughing about it, right? And then like a couple weeks later, the Just Like Heaven lineup drops, and Yeah Yeah Yeahs are headlining it, and it's not Coachella, but it's just like it's fucking crazy. So I'm not like.
That's when you made it official. You're like, oh, you're my girlfriend now.
I was in December.
You're
I
like,
made it
"First
before.
Coachella,
I
you
made
would've
it.
been my wife."
I made it before then, but you know, like I just I have to go. That's why I bought the VIP tickets because I was like I have to go, and you know got her a ticket, and I got to hear that song, and then we'll see what happens from there. You know what kind of emotion like I feel or whatever happens, but like I have to do it. You know.
Well, if you're getting people tickets, I'm available.
You say, oh, if I need
I'm saying if you're buying tickets,
oh
let's
shit,
go, let's go.
nah, I only got 2. Sorry, lazy
Damn
boy.
it. I was gonna make fun of you for being adopted, but you left me no room after that story. At all.
Hey man, like that's the truth of it, you know, like, and so, and you know what, like,
Where's your dad at?
I didn't meet my dad till I was probably like 22, 23.
Never?
Yeah.
How was that? How'd you meet him?
Dude, I freaking, and that's the crazy thing is that I only met him because his son, my half brother, messaged me on MySpace, and he's like, "Hey, I'm your brother," and I had like no idea of like that side of the family. I didn't ask no questions because like, as far as I was concerned, my grandparents were my parents. You know, like you're not here, they are, so I don't care about you. And there was no malice, no hatred, you know, but that's just the reality. And then yeah, like I said, my half brother messaged me. Ended up like hanging out with him a couple times before I met my dad, and then finally like I met my dad, and that was such a weird thing because I was asking people like, what do I fucking say to this guy, like, hey, long time no see, like, what I
Yeah,
tell?
you cracked the fucking dumbest jokes.
What did I tell him, you know? But yeah, I ended up meeting him like I said at 23. I don't really talk to him much now.
Why not?
Just well, my brother and I were talking for a long time, and then we kind of had like a little fallout. I mean,
Disagreement
we're
kind of
cool.
fall out, or like just stop?
Well,
Just kind of fizzled.
no, well, the truth of it is that my grandfather from my dad's side during COVID times, my grandfather passed away, and my brother was really close to him, and during that time, I didn't really make a lot of effort to reach out to him, and so he felt like
To him or
to my brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my brother felt like that I didn't do a lot to reach out to him, so he got sideways about it. You know, like you pretty much was like, you know how much that guy meant to me, and like you weren't there for me. You know, so
People deal with death differently, man. People
Yeah.
deal with situations that are not gonna end well differently.
yeah, for sure.
People always, when I was sick with cancer, both times people would say, "Oh, if they're not around, fuck them," you know. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, when people around me have a terminal disease, there's a major part of me that doesn't want to really interact with them. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means that I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I've learned from that, and sometimes I do different, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just need to, like, step away and remember that person for who they were, who I remember them from, not someone who's about to die in, like, a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so I have a lot of respect for people who act differently than what I want them. And I can't tell people how to act when they have their own way of dealing with situations like that, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean completely, and
it goes both ways. Like even for your brother, like him feeling hurt that you weren't there for him, you know.
And
like,
I apologize. You know, I apologize because I like, and I mean, you know, it's like for one, yeah, I didn't know how to deal with the death, but also like I was kind of like new to being a brother, you know, like I didn't have a brother like that.
There's a lot of play right here.
Yeah, you know, for sure. And then, yeah, like, so, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I apologized to my brother, and, like, he said we were cool, but we just haven't really talked a lot since. And, like, he was the main, I never actually got my dad's number. Like, he was my point of contact, like, you know, my brother. So that's really why, like, I haven't seen him since. And, like, you know, and it's equally, like, my dad's fault, you know, because like
Of
the only
course.
reason I know my dad is
He should
because
get your number to your
because of
son.
his son,
Yeah.
you know, and like
Yeah.
I would and if it wasn't for him, I would never know you, you know. So I again I never felt that I needed that. The only reason I even went like to go meet him was for my grandparents, because my parents told me that my grandparents were always the sweetest people to me, and that they were always giving my birth mom money for like shoes and clothes. So I felt inclined to go meet them. Like it's not their fault that like their son didn't like pick up the slack, you know, on my for me. And so like why should they be punished? And they were always asking about me and stuff. So I made it a point to see them, and I'm glad I did, because you know my grandpa ended up passing, and at least I got to share the moments that I did with him.
Yeah, both of them.
Just one, just my grandfather, but it's
How
unfortunate.
old was he?
Like 70 something, like 73 or something, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate too, because my grandma is alive, but my grandma only speaks Spanish, so I can't talk to her.
You don't speak Spanish?
No.
Oh shit! Why'd you in school?
Hey, like, you judging a book by its cover, lazy boy?
No, you know what? It's actually funny because I've been trying to say this the entire time, but like when the mic's in front of you, and even when it's not, you look like a Mexican A-track. You ever hear that?
I gotta show you something.
You ever hear
I
that?
gotta show you something.
It sounds like you heard that before.
I gotta show you something. No, not
Look
necessarily.
at the
that-
camera. This is a Mexican A-track.
I gotta show you something that actually that they've never told me that. You know, and then that's funny that you say that, because I've heard. Usually people say that I look like Joe K.
Maybe
but
it's more in your eyes, like, you know.
no, I
like,
gotta
from
show you
here.
something. I'm gonna find
That's
it
why
right
I
now.
said from behind the mic.
Where the fuck is it? But you know Joe K is, right, from Selection.
Oh yeah, I saw a photo of him like yesterday.
When I went to the do-over, like before the October one, there was this guy talking to me. He looked at me. He's like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "I gotta get me some merch." And I'm
Oh
like,
shit, you thought you were okay?
yeah. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Where the fuck is it? I gotta show you this. I have to show you this. Oh wait, like real quick, just because I ran into the photo. That's me and Jen a while back.
Oh shit, alright. You listened to the Road podcast, the episode that I was on?
I don't think so, because I stopped listening to the Road podcast for a long time.
Yeah, I don't think you heard it either, because if you did, you know that I was adopted as well.
Oh yeah, so I didn't.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's probably dead. I don't know.
Damn. Now and then look at now. I gotta listen to that episode for sure. Oh look at here we go.
Oh, you're him for Halloween?
Yeah.
Oh, at the pool over?
Yeah.
Nice.
But this is like.
Did he play?
This is 2015. No, he didn't.
Should do it when he's playing.
Well, how the fuck? You know how the do-over works. We don't know who's playing, sir.
Oh, you know.
I don't know, and I never check.
Oh, yeah. No, when it comes around that time, I always look to see people's posts and see what's happening, if they drop any Easter eggs or,
Yeah. You're like,
or if they're catching a
but
fly.
you know, I like to surprise. I really do.
I like to surprise too. I also like to have, like, I like to guess, you know?
You like to guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I
and
mean,
there's been
but
times, lots of times where I've been wrong.
Huh?
There's been lots of times where I've been wrong.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But that lineup is, repeats itself here and there.
Yeah. A-Track hasn't played there in a long time, though.
Yeah, but Zach plays a lot.
It's four color.
Isn't he like a resident?
No, I don't. I mean,
Someone told me that.
I don't think anyone's technically a resident.
Mhm,
I mean,
mhm.
unless it's like the only people I would really say are residents for the LA one at least, and that's it's all dependent on the area too, right? But the only ones I would say are residents are like the Beat Junkies. I would say because they're always there.
I went to the one the same time they had that little summit.
Summit.
Yeah, downtown LA. It was one of the record pools.
Oh, I don't even know what that. No, the Summit.
Yeah,
Wait,
Four Color Zach played.
Was their 15-year one? Their 15-year anniversary thing? Like where they had like it was open to the public as a big thing? Or was it small?
No. That was at like kind of. Where was that? Long Beach? Where was that at?
No, that the 15-year one was here in LA.
Alright, this was man, this was like maybe 6 months ago or something like that.
Oh. I don't know.
Zach played, Puffy played.
Oh, I think I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, they had like at a park But it
No,
wasn't. But it
it-
wasn't the 15-year one. No.
No, it was not at a park. It was
A summit.
no. The summit was separate. It was completely separate. It was
I don't know what it was then.
It was they had gotten all the what are those DJ? Oh, my man Jamie Matt Shano.
Oh, Shano. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his buddy
Yeah.
that is affiliated with.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shano's cool. Shout out to Shano.
All right. Well, damn it. Now I have to look up some photos here and try to figure it out. But what are some of these DJ groups?
DJ groups around here.
So the DJ City, BPM Supreme, the ones that have the events.
I mean,
Like a
Beat
summit.
Junkies.
It was in LA. It was like big. They rented out like a hotel and had the whole top floor.
Oh,
It was for like a week.
I don't
I
know.
got a badge. It was free. I got a badge for it, and it was free for everyone. Fashion was there. Miles played. Jay played. Arcade played.
I don't know, but it wasn't. It was, but the door. Bro, you're saying this is a different.
There were
thing.
separate events,
Oh,
but
okay.
it happened at the same time. And I remember going to the do-over and then ending up at that summit thing.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what that was called. I think I do know what you're talking about. Was it?
Dynamics played too.
Was it a pool party?
No, it was a pool party. I was
Yeah.
the only motherfucker at the pool for most of the party until this girl got in the pool with me, and then another girl got in the pool with me, and then we were the only ones in there. And then I think there was one other chubby dude that got in there. I don't know. Sorry, I forget. And then Jay and Arcade both jumped into the pool, or Jay and someone jumped into the pool later.
That's tight. That's
But
tight.
I was like the only one. Everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And it was funny because, the pool was like, and you couldn't tell unless you got in. It's a fucking kiddie pool.
Oh, it's super short.
Yeah, like 2-3 feet deep.
So you trying to do a fucking cannonball in there, or what? When you went in there?
No, I mean I just walked in,
Uh.
but like it was, and it said 3 on the thing, but it was a trip. But like, it's like fake.
I'm not gonna say anything because someone's gonna be like, "Well, that's LA for you." That pool is about as shallow as the people in LA. I could see somebody saying something like that.
No, I hear it. I know what you're saying.
That'd be like, I think that would be something from the Road Podcast. They would say that. They're like, yeah, it's about as shallow as the people in LA.
The summit. Where's the summit? Come on.
Mm.
I wish we had like people screaming right now. Cause we'd be like, "Yo, Chet, what the hell is Lazy One talking about?"
Oh yeah, yeah. I tried it. I tried it a little bit over the pandemic where I was streaming, but yeah. I don't know. Like I just been like real, kind of up and down with the podcast. Like trying to figure out its way, and also just, I have other focuses, so I just haven't built it out like that. Like I was pushing down the YouTube path. I did try, like I said, this Twitch thing for a little bit with the podcast. But it really just boils down to me just being consistent. I will say the only thing is that at least the audio is the one thing that has been consistent. But that's like, that's the essence of a podcast, is that it's audible.
Nice. It wasn't downtown. It was in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
It was August 21st. That was August.
Academy?
21st, That was.
Is that the thing? Academy? But that's the
So
thing.
that was a
That's the
Sunday.
thing.
That was do-over. Do-over LA at 1439 Ivar Avenue.
Yeah, that's a do-over, right?
Yeah.
Ivar, I recognize
Can
that.
you go
That's cool.
Sunday, August 21st, 2022?
Do you know where I was?
Did you go to that? Where were you the night of?
I think so. I feel like because that's the one. Well, that's August. No,
Scam
actually.
artists.
Oh, the
Summit.
scam
Yeah,
event.
see
Actually,
the
no, I didn't.
Dynamics
I didn't go
Dynamics you passed out.
that. Yeah, that's why the fuck you went for free though. You had a pass.
It was free.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing was free.
Yeah.
No, Dynamics passed out. What happened to him?
He got way too drunk. He had a good time.
I never seen Dynamics
I
drunk.
think I put my glasses on him.
That's so funny.
And then, but wait, there's more. I was pretending to be passed out with him. And then,
Hey, you know, he looks cool though. Like he looks composed. He doesn't look like all like laid out with, you know, somebody drawing a dick on his face or something.
Chilling. I wouldn't draw a dick on his face.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I would draw a dick on my homies' faces if they were drunk like that.
I would.
Hey, so now you know, lazy boy, don't get drunk around me and pass out. I'm gonna draw a dick on you.
That's messed up. Oh man, no. See, yeah, I did do a stripper move on him though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
It's not in here. I
Oh.
wish it was. I was really excited to show everyone, but no, I did like the handstand, so your legs over your shoulders, kind of a stripper move, and everyone thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's like kind of close to, you know, I drew a dick, you're doing the stripper move handstand on your homie. That's kind of close.
Yeah, that was a homie. So yeah, it was okay. Yeah.
All right, man. So I think it's good. I think we could wrap this up now. I would say, you know, any last things that you feel like you want to address or anything like that. But I think we got a lot. I think we got a lot discussed for sure, and it's been a great time.
What's the average going rate for DJs in LA for a 4-hour set?
Well, I mean, honestly, you're asking the wrong guy, because like I'm in a similar boat where like I barely moved over here, and I feel like I'm barely like
From where? From
from IE. I mean, I've been over here for a minute, like, because someone's gonna be like, you've been over for a while.
How long have you been here?
I've been over here for 6 years.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm barely like penetrating, because like it's not. I'll truly say this, and then, you know, anyone could call me out on it, but I don't think it's not a matter of my skill. Like, I'm good.
It's all about who you know.
I think it's that and you know, like I said, because of the way the parties are, like the focus is what? The focus is not your skill. The focus is how many people can you bring. They want promoters that are DJs rather than DJs. They want promoters that are DJs. That's really what it boils down to. In my like pure honest opinion, that's what it is. If you can bring 30 people, you're hired. Now, but that's the ironic part of it too, is that not only that, but that doesn't even necessarily mean that you're gonna get a lot of money. It just means like you're hired. Like you get to be in the cool seat, but that doesn't mean that you're gonna get paid out. You know, the only people that I feel like are really getting paid out are like the big names. And I'm not there yet. I'm definitely not there yet. So I'm not getting paid nothing crazy. And then like that's also why, like, you know, that's why I'm pushing so much for my party, because like at least I can determine
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, you know, and I am the promoter for my party. I don't have a promoter, you know, and I've been fortunate enough too. Like I've wanted to throw a party at least for the past 4 or 5 years.
How long you been doing it?
My party?
Yeah.
Officially a year. Yeah.
Nice.
But I've been wanting to do it for a long time. But just, you know, it's expensive out here, as you know, and so all those things got to be aligned. You know, like the venue's got to be willing to let you do what you're gonna do, and, you know, let you execute your vision your way. And so all those things like just had to fall into place. And so fortunately, like towards the end of the pandemic, I had an opportunity at this venue, and this I think I've talked about this, but the venue at the time was allowing me to rent the event space for $500. So and then pretty much like, you know, figure out everything else. Like, you know, I was providing my own audio there, DJ gear, booking the DJs.
Security.
No, the venue provided the security, so that was cool. And then they also provided like a food vendor and bartender. You know, and so and then they only required me to
Insurance.
Nope.
Really?
They only required me to make $1,500 at the bar, like that was a bar minimum, and anything past that was 50-50.
Nice.
Which is, you know, unheard of, crazy. I mean, and I was looking at, you know, a spot. Actually, coincidentally, I just played at this spot on Saturday. I played at Apartment 503. You ever been there?
Nah,
Cool.
man, I haven't been out. I don't know anybody out
Cool
here.
place, like in the cut. And that spot, from what I heard, was like requiring like a ridiculous amount of money, like something like 8 grand or something like that at the bar,
Yeah.
to throw an event there. So I was like, I'm not there yet. And that's the cool thing about my party, is that it is kind of just starting, but it's very good learning grounds, where like
It's a day party?
yeah, yeah. From 3 p.m. till 9, and then often if it's going good, then we stay extra hour.
Is that different venues every time, or the same?
No,
venue?
same venue,
Same venue.
same venue. And I was shopping around a little bit, like shopping around in LA, looking at different.
What city?
In the arts district.
What?
In the arts district.
Oh, sick. That's tight.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you'll see it.
And crash off, or you still building, or
What's up?
crash off? You still building?
It's outside.
I'm saying, is it pop off, or you
Oh,
still
I
building
mean,
it a lot?
so the first one we did, we had like 80 people there, and then from there it was probably like 40 to 50, and so that's been a part of like the learning curve, like figuring out how to get more people there,
Yeah.
try to get them there earlier, like, and so I think I did everything good as far as like I did it all like for
What's
myself.
capacity?
What's up?
What's capacity?
200.
Mhm.
So I did it like all just through figuring it out on my own, and like just throwing a party from what I know about just throwing events. So I think everything that I did was necessary. And then this year is a big year, and I mean that in terms of like I got people familiar with it. The vibe is cool. So like with my party, I have dope DJs. We have food, we have alcohol, and then I love I love the social aspect of things. So I incorporated like a beer pong table. I incorporated Jenga, and then I had a cornhole too. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to interact with other people. And so if dancing wasn't your thing, then you can just sit there, chill, drink, and eat, or you could play Jenga and meet some cool people, or whatever it is. And that's me, to a T. So I got all that. I got the photos. I got videos. So I think all that stuff is dope that I grabbed all that. And then this year is really the year that I need to like buckle down and then just really focus on how to turn a profit. Cause like all that stuff was like out of my pocket. I kind of went even. And I mean, to be realistically, I didn't go even. I went negative, like, to be real. But I'm okay with that. Cause I have a vision, and I knew like these are the things that I needed to get done. And then this year is like the real year that I hope to turn a profit, and it's not because it's about the money, but I can't just be bleeding that out every year, because it doesn't make sense. As happy as it makes me, it just doesn't make sense.
Have you talked to like a marketing consultant?
Yeah, so we already have some like a couple like strategies as to like how to make it like more profitable. Luckily, like with the venue, the guy that I work with, he's a fan of it. He's a fan of the party. He like sees very like a lot of potential, and he's
talked to a marketing consultant.
Oh, a marketing consultant. Sorry. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like the manager.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to just think of different ideas.
Yeah.
We can
No.
talk about it
Well,
offline,
no, you know what I mean. And actually, my friend was just telling me that like he's been using a marketing like consultant pretty much for his thing.
And seeing a difference.
And it was working great, but he was gonna pass her like my way to like help me out, and then she kind of just disappeared on him.
Oh, she disappeared on him.
Yeah, but like so she was doing really good for him, like just making a lot of moves, and then just start lagging it. I don't know if she got more opportunities or what, but
you just find an agency.
yeah. And I had a buddy that was like trying or asking me to do it, but maybe you're right.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be through your homie.
Yeah.
Although I like doing that as well. We got a lot of homie connects for our party.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, and I didn't even know that. And yeah, so with yours, do you have a marketing consultant?
I haven't had to in San Francisco, but I probably will need to look into it for LA. It's just a different market, and I don't have connects here. And the spot we're looking at already has the night and they're inviting us in to take over, and so it's a nightclub and it's big, and I'm more used to like dive bar type of vibe. And most important thing to me is really just to find a location and a crowd that will be
receptive.
Yeah, really have open arms to what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, and
why don't you?
It up,
I mean, is there no space for you at shortstop?
I haven't even tried that.
Well, because I mean, you have a connect. You have Gordo and you have Jedi.
Yeah.
Who are very in link with them. But Motown is like, I feel like Motown is that spot. Like,
well, it's literally under the same brand. Hella Cheese is a mom party. Yeah, so yeah, it makes sense.
So what you doing, man?
yeah. I don't know what the numbers they're getting over there either, and we're working off of the door and and other things. You know, it all depends.
Yeah.
But we had an offer to
or Los Globos. I could see that type of party at Los Globos too. I don't know if you know that venue.
I don't know it.
Yeah. I know. I mean,
I want LA. I want Hollywood or Los Feliz or Highland Park. I like those areas, and I like that vibe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you made a friend today for sure, and like I've gone to like all the, not all the venues, but I've visited a lot of freaking venues in LA because I've been in search of DJs, in search of cool places. And like, you know, I've looked at it from a DJ's perspective, and like, oh, like this spot would be cool for R&B, or this spot would be cool for Hella Cheese, this spot would be cool for a hyphy night, whatever, you know. Like I'm always analyzing like that, you know.
Sophanon was telling me about this other spot, something eight and something.
Would you say 8?
Yeah.
82? The Barcade?
No, it wasn't that. But she was like, "Oh, they eat that shit up there."
Yeah, but I'm from off the top of my head right away. I'm telling you, I think of Shortstop, and what's it called? And Los Globos, because Los Globos, that was a big critique of mine at Los Globos. Is Los Globos had like a lot of, it's like it's kind of like, actually I don't want to say because I don't really know. Like, I know where it is, like, if I visited it, but I don't know off the top of my head. Los Globos.
Yeah,
it might be Hollywood. You looked it up?
Yeah. It's hard for me. Sunset Boulevard, 3040 Sunset.
Yeah, I think that's Hollywood. Yeah, it's like Hollywood. So. And
nice, I like it.
Yeah, the reason I bring that spot
stage.
up, the reason I bring that spot up is because they actually would host already like a lot of parties like that were like 90s, 80s. They would do like a Britney Spears night. Like they would do a lot of stuff like that falls into that, you know.
Yeah.
But my biggest critique was a lot of times like the DJs that would book.
I've seen this venue.
They never a lot of times the party at those specific parties. DJs were not DJs. They were just
So there's this
fading in and out on Spotify.
That I really admire, and I love how they operate. And it's what is it? It's emo night tour.
Oh yeah, emo night's sick.
Yeah.
Emo night's so sick.
See,
I seen them at Coachella.
Yeah. See, then they're playing Coachella, right?
Yeah.
I heard this dude or a couple dudes from Sacramento, and they live down here. I don't know, but if you look at their roster, they play for like 2.5 months, all across the country, and that's really just what I want to do with Hella Cheese, and I think it's that kind of party.
Nice.
Maybe you have to drop the Hella since it's a California thing, but I don't know. But I admire that, and they also do another party, the same promoter. I believe, called Indie Dance Night.
Yeah, I know that. They just kind of started back up. They just posted like a flyer for that event, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that one's. I don't know if it is there, but it was for a long time. It was at this bar called the Satellite.
Well, my understanding is it's the same thing as the emo night tour, same group,
Yeah.
and so they have the same connections, so they play at all the same venues.
Yeah. See, and I was wondering too, like with the whole like that one, because I feel like when I went to that, the way that they play like it could have a DJ, but they don't have
You
a
got
DJ.
mixes, sometimes, not always, and sometimes they have like more than one DJ. For the indie dance party, it was just one guy.
Yeah, I was talking about the indie. Yeah.
And then the emo night tour, they had like 3 different people.
Yeah.
And it was really fun watching how they do the party. But a lot of them aren't actual DJs, which is fine.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, it really just comes down to your selection.
Yeah. And I mean, I brought it up too, is because when I went to those parties, like I thought it was cool, but I was like, but you guys could be DJing.
Yeah, you
like,
want more because you know what there's.
you could totally be, especially because when you don't DJ, like the energy dies when you let a song fade out, and like it
It's interesting because yes and no. It dies, but it also comes back immediately.
But I don't like it when it's like, I don't like it when it
You ever drop a song
it's
like
like-
that?
but I'm saying if you're at a party and it's fucking 10 songs like that, and it's every song that's fading out, like that kills it to me.
Yeah.
That kills it to me.
It's a different vibe. I mean, a lot of people don't give a fuck, but the ones who do. It's kind of like mixing out a key. If you mix out a key and you're not a musician, you don't have a musician's ear, you hear that shit, someone doing it, you're like, oh, it's awful. What the fuck are you doing? But if you just don't do that, you don't have that ear, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, and that's
Even if you're the DJ doing it. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, people don't care. The ones who do care.
yeah. I know, and that's something that I've been like more aware of, and it has definitely.
There's a difference because you mix a song, right? But if you mix it with the right key, there's a moment of euphoria that you hit that you're not gonna hit if you're clashing.
Yeah.
And that's so beautiful, and it fills the soul. It's a different.
Yeah.
It's an energy that you can only hit in that moment. So I really encourage anyone who's listening to mix in key.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you can't have a dry beat bed with no melody and mix in a different key, Doesn't mean you can't shift up into the next key while mixing. Shout out to Flip Out. You ever heard Flip Out mix? Listen to him mix. He's very different.
Flip Out mix?
Yeah, DJ Flip Out. He was a host for Redbull 3 Style.
I'll write that down.
DJ Flip Out, yeah. Word. Alright, well, it's been fun. It's great having you.
DJ Flip Out.
I know it's been like
Mix.
3 hours.
Hey, the longest one that we did was 6 hours, or 6 or 8 hours.
Oh, not me. Not
Dude,
you.
my buddy, no, I'm just saying though, but like my buddy walked in, freaking, when we came out, it was dark. He had like 10 missed calls from his girl. His girl was tripping.
Flipping out.
He's like, babe, I'm still here. Like, we barely, he was like laughing, like, we're good. Like, no, it was all one take. We're just talking forever.
No, I'm saying 100 texts.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But,
I just share my location with everyone. I don't even fuck. As long as I'm safe with them, that way they know where I'm at. No one needs a trip.
all right, man. Well, thank you so much from behind the booth. Once again, my name is DJ Wally. This is Lazy Boy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lazy Boy, you could drop anything or any plug you want to do. Feel free to do that. And Lazy Boy is in the LA area, so anybody who's listening, hit his ass up.
Well, I mean, don't hit my ass up, but hit me up. Slide in my DMs. I'm in Pasadena. I would love to spin in Pasadena somewhere. I actually went out to parties where I wanted to play at, and the vibe that the DJ was putting off was like super mellow hip hop, and I'm like, I get it. It's not necessarily a dancing spot, but I went next door. I can't remember the name of the spot, but it was fucking jumping.
Mm-hmm.
And the people there are actually fans of mine, so I think I'm going to start playing there. Hopefully the pay is better than a lot of other places here in LA, so come on, LA. Step it up.
All right, y'all. Thank you again. Peace.
Like this, they need to respect the DJ, you know what I'm saying?